Hello everyone and welcome to round 2 of Altibox Norway Chess. My name is Fiona Stylantoni, and first of all I'd like to apologize for the slight delay in getting back online, but should all be resolved now. And then I'm very happy to welcome Johan Aulin Jansson, Tournament Director. Thanks very much for joining us. Round 2 is underway as we speak. Tell us, how satisfied are you with the beginning of the tournament?
I'm very satisfied. I think that we had a very nice Blitz tournament on Monday. With lots of drama, lots of nice games, and of course we got Magnus as a winner as well. So from a Norwegian perspective, we're very happy. Yesterday's first round was also very nice with I think all of the games were interesting, and we got the drama from Magnus Carlsen against Pentala Hare Krishna, which was great. So we're very optimistic and happy with the playing area. Hotel, everything is great.
I can only confirm that. Tell us, a lot of the drama that we saw yesterday is caused by the rather short time control, also the fact that there is no increment until move 60. Was that a conscious choice, so there would be more excitement?
Yes, I think we all, let's say, need to see chess as a sport, and when it's televised, we need to consider, let's say, the public more than the players. I know that the players, most of them prefer increment, but then we say take away a lot of the drama from the game, and that's not healthy.
Talking of drama, there was quite a bit of drama in the run-up to the tournament. That's one of the most discussed news, and people will be very curious about this. What was the late withdrawal of Sergei Karyakin after winning the candidates tournament? Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Well, naturally, we were and still are a bit disappointed by the decision of Sergei. We do have some understanding for it, of course, for him and the others. The match against Magnus in November will be a very exciting match, and I understand his focus, although I'm not totally happy about it. We miss him here. It would be great to have him here and play the, let's say, the pre-match game against Magnus.
And you still managed to get a very strong replacement, Li Chao from China, who postponed parts of his wedding to come here. So how happy are you with that replacement?
I'm very happy, and also very impressed by Li Chao's very, let's say, flexible attitude, and his soon-to-be wife's flexible attitude as well. So all in all, we're very happy with all the players playing here now.
And then another question, you mentioned the upcoming match between Magnus Carlsen and Sergei Karyakin.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on this match?
Well, I hope it will be, what do you call it, one of the greatest matches in history. That's my hope and ambition, but I think the two players will be able, they fit each other a little bit, so they will play very interesting and tough games. Don't ask me to predict the result yet. I cannot do that in, what do you call it, without thinking Norwegian.
Of course, I understand.
So, but I hope it will be, regardless of the result, a great game that millions of people will watch.
Surely. Okay, so before I let you off, maybe not many people out there know you're a very keen chess player yourself and you're a FIDE master. So before I let you go, maybe we should have a quick look at the 5 games from today, get your assessment, and maybe a round of predictions on the results.
But don't trust my assessments.
Maybe we can switch to this. I'll give you the mouse.
Okay.
And we can start here on top. Okay, start with Grandelius against Aronian.
Well, this is a position that looks rather messy. I see that Levon has some challenges with his bishop on a5. I don't know if he can have any comforts on the king side. It's very messy.
Okay, so let's just do a quick round of predictions. What do you predict here?
I predict that Nils Grandelius, which is a very, let's say, tactical, aggressive player, he will have the better of Levon this day.
Okay, then let's move on to the next game, Li Chao against Kramnik. Let's just click on it. Yep.
Well, that's a lot calmer stilling position, I would say. There's the pair of bishops against the pair of knights, and he has, let's say, the pawn's position are not in white's favor. Maybe compensated by the pair of bishops, but a lot less complicated position, I would call it.
Prediction?
I will predict a draw.
Okay. Let's move on to probably the most exciting round of the game, Anish Giri against Maxime Vachier-Lagrave.
Yes, this is a position that I really like. I play Najdorf myself. Not always that lucky, but I still play it. And this is, let's say, the themes here are what I'm dreaming about with black position. But of course, it's not without a price to pay. I know now that Anish has been thinking for half an hour or something, and I completely understand him. It's rather every move now is decisive and very dangerous. So, but I really love the knight on e5. That's the best piece I know.
So, are you going to predict a black win?
Well, yes, I will.
Okay, let's move on then to Topalov against Magnus Carlsen. Of course, a game you will have special interest in, and we were just discussing this before we went on air.
Yes. Well, it's also not so complicated position, so I think the players are more or less positioning themselves for an end game.
We know Magnus Carlsen loves. I mean, he excels at endgames, of course.
And I think black has at least 50-50 here. But I don't know if it's more than that. So I will be rather pessimistic with the Norwegian eye and say it'll be a draw.
A draw, okay. And the last game of the round, Pavel Ilyanov against Hari Krishna, both lost their first round game yesterday. So how do you think they're doing today?
I have no idea, to be honest. I'm not very good at these positions as well, but I like the black pieces better than the white ones here. So maybe a strong draw for black.
Okay, good. Okay, so I will thank you very much for joining me. Once again, Tournament Director Johan Arlen Jonsson, also known as JJ. If you stick with me, I'll just talk to you people for 1 second. So I will now leave their spots back to Jan and Peter, and then I will be back myself in roughly an hour and a half for a quick update on what's been going on the Twitter sphere, on Facebook. I'll show you some pictures of today. If you have any questions for me of what's going on in the tournament, or any other comments, remarks, you can tweet using hashtag C24Live, and I'll do my best to get back to your questions in roughly an hour and a half. So thank you very much for watching us, and I'll see you back later.
Welcome back, everybody, to the second round of the 2016 Altibox Norway Chess Tournament. We do have quite a bit of action on the board, so we'll jump right into it. Levon Aronian torturing the outsider, the newcomer, Nils Grandelius. And Peter, I already just asked you off the air. He could have taken an exchange, but he decided not to in the position after knight takes b3.
Yeah, I wasn't
spotted after f4. This rook is trapped, but he didn't want it.
I did not really did not really see that development because I was off air doing a bit of a stint on the Norwegian TV. And
look at Mr. Celebrity.
Yes, my fame knows no bounds. But the thing is, after f4, bishop rook d3, let's say you take. The king side is now sort of secure for white. The bishop on a5 is not going to get captured, but it also has no moves. And I would feel actually much happier here with white than in the position Levon opted for, because here with the f5 open, the knight on f3 being extremely awkward, and really lots and lots of weaknesses to pay attention to. And also, we shouldn't forget that Nils is running reasonably short on time. Let me look up. He has 20 minutes left after knight h2, the move he finally settled on. 21 minutes left, I think, against like an hour and 20 for Levon or thereabouts. I think with the time situation like that, it's much less pleasant to defend a position like the one he has now than the position exchange down, but with a settled structure, no attack against your king, and even some prospects for the future.
So what does Levon do now?
Many
Queen
things.
h4
Queen h4 comes to mind.
Rook h3, you get kicked away.
Yeah. Even some strange move like bishop c2 might not be so stupid. But knight a5, rook a5 force white to somehow defend. Defending d4 is surprisingly uncomfortable. Like if you play bishop b2, something like queen g5.
Of all these squares.
Queen g5 becomes a much bigger issue for white. Rook will come to a4 or b5, one of those two squares, increasing pressure on the queen side. Yeah, it's an ugly position to be trying to defend, especially on being low on the clock and against somebody who will put you under tremendous pressure on the board as well.
Yeah, of course it's easy to play Captain Hindsight, but Nils' opening work didn't go so well. If you go for this line, which has been played before at the highest level, you should anticipate the computer moves like h6 and a5, and maybe he knew it and he thought pawn up can't be so bad, but it feels a bit naive to play like that.
It's a bit strategically risky, yeah, and he is currently sort of reaping what he's sown there.
It's always a tricky approach if you're an outsider to these tournaments. What would you recommend? Because me, as president of the Chicken Chess Club, I would almost certainly have chosen something like this to get on the board. Because in such a line, you're not going to lose. You're probably not going to win, but play something solid, get the first half point.
Sure,
but you do that, or you go for principal play.
Well, I think it very much depends on who you are, and we had this discussion off air. In the very first Norway Chess, Jan Ludvig Hammer, who is now in the studio over there, you can't see him, but he is there. He played as a qualifier, and he didn't have a particularly good tournament in terms of results, but he played every single game for a win, white, black, doesn't matter. And it seems like this spirit is also very much alive in Nils. Nils is also, he hasn't come here to make quiet draws against superior opposition. He's come to play. And it might cost him, but I think it's very admirable.
Yeah, then again, you gotta score some points at some point.
Sure, but let's not rule him out after a game and a half. I think it's completely unfair as well. I mean, he is in trouble today, and he did lose yesterday. But I mean, he's playing against the very best in the business, and there's 7 rounds to go.
No, of course. But yeah,
No,
it's not a good start to the tournament for him.
No,
I'd say.
no, sure.
Of course, he hasn't lost yet, but it feels like it's unlikely he's gonna survive this with little time and little king protection.
If he does survive, it will be a tremendous show of resolve and skill in very, very trying circumstances, because I think the position is objectively very good for Black, and also he's been out prepared. He will be in severe time trouble, because this is really not a position in which you can autopilot with White.
Speaking of out prepared, MVL played this move Rook G8, and Anish Giri has been in the tank for like half an hour now after blitzing out his first 15 moves.
At the very least, yeah. I think it may have been even more than half an hour by now, but
maybe it's 40 minutes now. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while, and looks like Rook G8 was an inspired choice in that respect, because you really, really want to start playing against the person and not the person's computer here. And he has done that with Rook G8, Maxime. So. Will be very interesting to see what Anish comes up with eventually once he emerges from the tank. G5 is an option. All kinds of sacrifices need to be considered. There's also, I mean, there are quieter moves like Rook G1 is not at all impossible, but I mean, it will be very, very interesting to see what Anish finally settles on here.
Have we checked if Anish is actually at the board? Maybe he fell asleep in the confessional booth or something?
We have cameras running, but they show us Malevich's black square for some reason.
Yeah, we can get there, but it's probably likely that he is actually calculating. Let's go to Pavlov Carlsen, where a lot of material has come off the board. To me, it felt like Queen c5 was waving the white flag. He's saying, okay, before you develop and my king starts looking weak, let's get rid of the queens and play a nice solid endgame. I might not win.
I'm not sure about the waving of the white flag. We were talking about this in the other studio in the break, because obviously they are mainly concerned with Magnus's games in this tournament, and I was making the point that actually stopping Black from castling queenside is a very, very sensible approach here, and sometimes offering a trade of queens is just the best move in the position, and also Black had the option of saying no to the trade. You could play something like Queen e6 or Queen f7 here and try and castle queenside anyway, but then I thought maybe a4 a5 is an annoying idea to prevent the castling and make Black's life somewhat uncomfortable. But after knight c4, I mean, the surprising thing for me here is that after knight c4, Vesely didn't start with h5.
Right.
This I didn't really quite understand, because it seemed to me that whatever Black does in response, this just gains a tempo for you compared to the game. I mean, maybe
say Black takes, knight takes, I guess, long castles, and this is a little.
No, but then rook h1 or b3 and rook h1. Let's not plunder the b2 pawn, although you maybe could. But let's go b3, knight d6, and attack the g6 pawn. This is what I meant, yeah. But Black isn't, I mean, if you do this, I think you're in a lot of trouble with Black, because there's really no comfortable way to even hold the g6 pawn. So I thought h5 might be met by king f7, but then you take on e7 and you play the position Vesely played in the game, but with white to move.
Right. So.
And this is why queen takes e7 was so surprising to me, because it felt to me that by playing h5 you risk nothing at all, and you might gain a full tempo.
Maybe it's psychological. You want to take the world champion's queen away first chance you get.
Well, we'll find out eventually. But yeah, that was a bit of a question for me. And now Black is reasonably comfortable. I mean, I think this position is very, very balanced. I think nothing much should happen from here on out. Although, I mean, Magnus is well known for playing on and occasionally winning positions about which commentators say, okay, nothing will ever happen from here.
Is a4 a good move? Because yeah, the textbook plan is to go for the minority attack, but it's not realistic. With
No, with a
knight
knight on d6, you never go for the minority attack. I think you play a4 b3, you secure the queen side, and I think now it is fair to say that Veselin is no longer really pushing here. a4, a5, b3, knight d6, both queen sides are locked in. On the king side, black doesn't really want to play g5 because it will only create weaknesses in his camp. Fight for the h file will probably result in all four rooks eventually being gone. So, all in all, I think a very, very level position, yeah. And we have a move in Giri and we...
Oh, let's go there. Played rook dg1, fair enough.
Yeah, but the reply is...
d5?
The reply is stunning to me, yeah. This I don't really understand.
So if takes bishop to b7.
Yeah, I guess that's his point, yeah.
Because knight takes, just loses. And e5 looks lost as well. d6.
e5, d6 seems to lose material, yeah. So you have to mean bishop b7 here.
Does this work?
Yeah, but that's the big question. Very, very interesting approach from MVL, and very possibly something that Anish hasn't really anticipated either, because after rook dg1 I would probably spend most of my time once again on the knight e5, knight g4 lines and knight e5 bishop b7 lines, all of that stuff. But d5, I mean, it seems so counterintuitive.
Let's go on some stuff. Knight c6, knight takes d5, eh?
Probably, yes.
And yeah, I can't find anything. This
No, this is excellent for black, but let's go back, let's go all the way back to d5. Can I try playing... I mean, it looked... I was absolutely stunned when I had just seen it first, but it's interesting, and I can't come even close to you know, properly... I'm even, you know, kind of unsure if I should use the word refuted. Let's go g5. Let's go g5. Now, e5, knight e5, you'll have to go to h3 or whatever, which is not very good.
I was going to blow on the queen.
Yeah, that was also an option, but I don't think it's a recommended one. Yeah, takes, you probably take on e4, I assume, takes. Although there's knight e5 once again. No, gf6 probably. No, gf6. Okay, we'll get back to that. d4, queen e4, bishop b7, queen h7. What is this? There's also knight takes e6 here, but that probably doesn't work. Okay, let's stick with the same moves for now. If you castle long, which I think is probably the main move here, I can maybe try taking on f7, but the rook on h1 is hanging, so yeah, I have no idea what this is.
It's a mess.
I have no idea what this is, but it feels
fine, no?
Yeah, it feels to me like it will eventually be quite decent for black. So a very, very interesting couple of moves from MVL.
What about this? Let's sacrifice
long castle. Yeah, long castle. It's not going to work. There's also the bishop on a2 is hanging, which is even more important than the rook on h1. So. Yeah, I don't think that's going to work, and yeah, extremely curious approach, and could be very good. Could be very, very good. So if can we interpose something? If I start with g5, can I take on g5 here? Or take on g5 with the rook? Those
That's
two things.
what I was wondering.
Yeah, those two moves are what I was trying to make work. Does this make any sense?
It does, because if the rooks get exchanged, all of a sudden
it's a bit of a different position because rook h8 check will be a huge improvement in white's fortunes. But that brings us to the other question. g5. Apart from knight take, there's knight takes e4. There's also knight e5. After which I think you need to calculate gf6. Because this is not very good for white, to put it mildly. What is gf? Rook g1. Let's say rook g1. Knight f3. Probably doesn't work at all for white. Here, rook g8 check, bishop f8, and we will run out of steam.
Yeah, doesn't seem to work.
Then knight e5 is very much on the agenda because it's a big improvement. It forces the queen to h3, and then we can take on, well, any of these things become much better. also the immediate knight takes c4 could be extremely strong.
So what can Anish do? Did he miss d5? Is he in trouble? Computer says black is doing fine.
The computer likes this a lot for black. But it's so easy to miss a move like d5 in a position like this. It's just you feel that d5 is one of white's strongholds, not black's, and you don't really expect with the king on e8. Black generally doesn't look to open the center by himself.
Yeah, and the computer also said that the move we were looking at mainly g5 is a critical choice when white is a bit better. But MVL, good psychologist here. He had the feeling, okay, rook g8, I can get him out of book, and it did work.
Yeah, very, very interesting development here, and impressive from MVL because he's been caught unawares and the position is hugely complicated. And not only did he manage to find a move which was somewhat less analyzed than the main lines, but he also came up with a follow-up.
But probably he was calculating d5 here, and there was something that bothered him.
Probably, yeah.
In this, and then he spotted that if you include rook g8, rook g1, it works. Not sure what bothered him here, but yeah, the computer, which I just switched on, sacrifices queen here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is somewhat outlandish, but yeah, the inclusion of rook g8, rook g1. I mean, here it's quite obvious it's in black's favor because the rook on d1 in the previous variation was extremely strong, and here, yeah, here it's very different because yeah, you need it on d1 to put pressure on the queen on d7. Yeah, this doesn't work at all.
So Giri in trouble. Just made one move by himself, rook dg1. It seems like it was a mistake, and now he's yeah, you can't even say you have to switch to defense, because if nothing works here, you can't defend, and you just get crushed. So you have to find something.
You could get rolled over actually in a position like this very, very easily because well, you already sacrificed a pawn, and the pawn on f4 is actually currently protected also directly, and in many variations, as we've shown, knight e5 indirectly driving the queen away from f3, which wasn't the motif even a moment ago. And yeah, if
so let's go back to this.
Bishop b7
here, and if this is computer assisted. Computer says this white survives at the earliest, or maybe it's even better.
Yeah.
So takes.
Yeah, I forgot that g8 is hanging actually. Yeah,
this works for white.
No, this definitely works.
Piece
for
up.
white. Yeah, piece up, and the knight escapes easily. So
instead,
yeah,
seems like you have to place a move like this. Or hang on.
No, 95 doesn't work, yeah, but the machine starts suggesting moves you don't actually make sort of ever at all, like bishop f8 and saying black is much better. But yeah, it will be interesting if this actually appears on the board. It will be interesting what Maxime settles on, because yeah, we are not using the machine a lot here, and it means that we can't really wait for it to gain sufficient depth. So we don't know how correct these variations are.
No, but it feels like white has to go in for this, because nothing else seems to work. Right?
Yeah, nothing else.
This
nothing
is a big
else
threat.
really.
This is a threat. This is a threat. Too many threats.
And he does play takes d5. So we'll see in a moment.
We'll keep you posted. Let's briefly revisit the troubles of Niels Grandelius. Bishop to e4 has been played, and he went rook to g3, which looks like a small improvement.
Yeah, white is actually getting his stuff in order here. If he manages to play bishop e3, let's say queen e2, so solidify his position somewhat, he'll not be doing that badly. I mean,
was bishop e4 a bit of an inaccuracy, because this move looked very strong?
I really like bishop c2. I don't know if it's objectively strong, but I really, really like this idea of forcing the trade on a5 and also luring some pieces away from the king's side. Yeah, I don't know, hard for me to judge. In Lichau, yeah, perhaps just a brief roundup. In Lichau, Kramnik, we liked queen takes c3, but the Chinese player chose a very non-standard approach here. He decided that knight g4 is such a serious move that it needs to be stopped, like the hard stop.
Yeah, but is it so non-standard? I mean, I understand it spoils your pawns, but you control this square, you prepare rook b1, you prepare bishop a3.
I'm not saying
like
it's that strange or bad at all. It could be quite good, but generally I would start by trying to make queen takes c3 work, because I like in a position with two bishops against two knights. If you don't create any weaknesses for yourself and manage to consolidate, you'll be a lot better.
Right.
And now endgames might be holdable for black, for instance, and you've compromised your position somewhat.
Rook e8 has been played logically enough, preparing either rook or knight to e5.
Yeah.
Queen b5, targeting this guy. I like white, I like bishops.
Well, nobody likes bishops more than I, but I still feel this is now quite unclear.
Okay. What do you do?
I was thinking about queen d5, but white will play something like a4 or rook b1 or something.
c4?
c4 as well,
okay,
but c4 we just
square.
established that you don't want to allow knight d4. Yeah, something like a4 and hope to play bishop g2 next move, bringing some of your stuff back to ideal positions. And yeah, it's a strange position, very difficult to assess, because black, has no weaknesses and is sort of the first side to start hostilities here.
Well, black is down material. You have two knights which are short-range pieces against these long-range things.
Yeah, that is very, very important long-term, but short-term, black, I think, has the better coordination and definitely the better structure and targets to potentially play against. We'll see what transpires. Let's.
MVL, by the way, has blitzed out knight to e5, apparently, not bishop b7. But once again, this trick, queen f4, knight d3. So, does that work? It's tempting to think about this.
Trying to figure it out, but this, I think, doesn't really give you very much. I mean, I'll take, and what do you want to take with? Queen. I see your point now. Queen b8, queen c3.
I want a queen c3.
But knight takes d5 is very strong here.
And everything's protected. That's a pity. Okay, doesn't quite work then.
No, I think if you have to go to a quieter square, so to speak, without creating threats, knight takes d5 will just cover everything.
Yeah. Okay, so I can't do this. Do I have to go here? That is so sad. But maybe now
why
is
is
this
it?
diagonal. Yeah, maybe it's not that sad.
Yeah, I think queen h3, I'd be reasonably okay with playing queen h3 here, because bishop b7 I'll just take on e6. I don't really care about this exchange at all. I'm, breaking through in the center, opening up the black king. g5 is following up.
No, this looks wrong. I think he wants to take on d5
With
somehow.
something, yeah.
Maybe pawn takes on.
Pawn takes on knight takes first. I don't know which one is better. And yeah, g5 is stopped because of the pin. g4 is hanging-ish. Yeah, this probably is his plan. Bishop b7 was more ambitious, but if after knight c6 you have to play bishop f8, you can very easily understand why MVL wasn't, jumping in that opportunity.
Well, this position is it shaky for black? Or does you take and go long castle?
Yeah, take and castle. This is fine for black at the very least.
Yeah. Okay.
Bishop c5 to follow. This was fantastic.
So what can you do?
I'm not sure. Let's. I was wondering if I can play d6 here, but black just takes the exchange, and it doesn't seem enough. Like rook takes g1. If it were white to move, bishop f3 would be a very, very strong move. But after bishop b7, yeah, you need to find something immediately, or you will be completely lost. So Anish does play queen h3. And yeah, we expect e6 takes d5. This is also possible, but it probably is in white's favor to give the queen escape squares like queen b3 is a move here, for instance. Although this also probably is fine for black. I don't
But
really
now I
see.
also have knight f5 and you can't take and castle so easily.
That is a good point. There is f6 discovered check. Let's illustrate your point. And because of this, the bishop on e7 gets lost. Yeah, this is a major difference actually. So we think.
e5 is a move.
Yeah, we think with our our preliminary analysis here seems to indicate that you have to take with a pawn.
Queen h3 has been played, so ball is back in MVL's court. He's gonna go e takes d5, and then Anish has to come up with something. This still looks normal to me, but yeah, I'm not gonna argue that black is fine here.
Yeah, I think I take black every time here. Especially if bishop c5 happens next time, securing the dark squares, you know, getting rid of.
You can't challenge this. No, black's fine.
Yeah, a4 maybe in that position.
Yeah.
No, I mean after all the trades, you can play a4 and there's no b4 because of bishop a6 check. But
Even this.
yeah, even this bishop c5, queen takes c5. There will be queen e3 check there whenever black wants. Yeah. Well, this is good for no. You're blundering a rook here, but
sorry.
you probably need to include rook g8 first. But then a b5, rook g3 probably is winning by force. Rook takes c3, knight e4, and mate. So that's it. I mean, as in, you know, we think this is what will happen, and we think that if white has to play knight f5, black is fine. So the question for me is whether white has really any options apart from knight f5 after e5. I don't think g4 is actually hanging. I think you probably can afford to play something like bishop f3.
Let me sacrifice Anish's pieces again, as I like to do.
But what are you actually trying to do? And as we discussed, this e takes d5 is on the board as expected. Also, in other news, we might have guests pretty soon because it seems like the Topalov Carlsen game is being a threefold. Is turning into a threefold. Let's put it like this.
Yeah.
But we'll stick with the Najdorf for now until they emerge from the playing hall.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Probably there's not much here. Just trying to make something happen.
Any square, like queen c6, for instance.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know, f3 is a move, knight takes g4 is a move. I just don't think you're making much progress here with white.
What else then for poor Anish?
Yeah, bishop f3 is a move here, but black can ignore it as well. As I said, if you take on g4, you probably will run into some kind of knight takes d5 in the end, and white would definitely welcome that. But you can just make some kind of a quiet developing move. But I mean, if I had to choose between bishop f3 and knight f5, I would pick bishop f3 because it at least keeps the position very unbalanced. After knight f5, black's play becomes a lot more streamlined. You take, you castle, you solve your king problems. You have a very, very nice positional idea of playing bishop c5 next. So, yeah, between those two, I would play bishop f3 and just wait for Maxime to reply to it somehow.
We'll see what he chooses. So what? The game is over. Topalov Carlsen did end in a draw. Yeah, it looked like they were headed down that road for a while. Interesting opening skirmish. We'll wait for the players if they show up to explain us more.
Yeah, and the Nimzo is still incredibly sharp and very, very interesting. It's I don't really, it's very hard to pick a side in this position. I think it probably is somewhat balanced, to be honest. I think there should be enough for black to not worry about his life too much, but white also consolidated to a degree.
Do you want to take on c4 or not yet?
I'm not sure. I probably, yeah, I'm conflicted. If it forces you to take the pawn, I probably do, because then I might have a chance to put a lot of pressure on your structure. But Hari chooses bishop d7, which is a quiet move. So he's in no.
Saying he's not in a hurry?
Yeah, I stopped myself there. That didn't really sound.
I'll go there, don't you worry. Bishop d7. What does white do? It's not so easy to suggest a plan.
I would include bishop g3 at some point. It just, you know, you need to secure yourself. Or bishop d2 maybe could be a better choice.
Not a good idea to go for checkmate?
No, it's an excellent idea, but the question is whether it will run into some tactics on the other side of the board. I mean, e5 is definitely the plan for the future, but right now I feel white's position is probably not secure enough to start active play in the center. Or maybe I'm being slightly over pessimistic. Maybe rook he1 is good. But I would probably start by removing the bishop from f4, and as we speak, Pavel plays bishop d2 almost instantly. So he's sharing my my view on that. So he feels that first he needs to consolidate completely, and then he will start thinking about how to break down Black's position.
White is a pawn up, but yeah, it doesn't feel like it's the main factor here.
No, but the kingside structure still means that Black will have to solve. I mean, Black will have to find a lot of counterplay on the queen side alone, because the f5 break, which would Black I think would very, very welcome an opportunity to play f5 here to open a second front, so to speak. But the pawns on e4 and g4, they control the bishop on d7 and the counterplay on the king side very, very efficiently. So whatever Black does, it will have to be sort of consigned entirely to the queen side.
If we take, how do you recapture?
I think it has to be the pawn, but I'm not sure.
I was wondering even if you... Oh, but the king is quite safe on d2.
Yeah, bishop takes and king d2 was my plan, followed by rook b1 and queen e3. And once again, it seems like I have most things under control, as much as it's possible with my king in slap bang in the center of the board.
If I try to be cute and do something like this.
That is a good point. That is a good point.
You can maybe put it here, like queen d2 and king d3.
I could, yeah, I could. That's one way. King d1, king e2 is possible, but very slow, and I like it less. I actually like queen d2. I mean, sorry, yeah, queen d2 followed by king d3 the best. Try and put my queen on f4, and then start trading along the b-file. Like queen f4 here, followed by rook b1, followed by king d2, maybe. Or queen f4. I mean, if I get queen f5 in.
And generally, queen is silly on g6 if you can't get some tactics.
You probably have to put it somewhere else, but even so, let's say rook a b1 or rook h b1.
It's pawn up for white.
Yeah, white's position is very, very solid. I mean, there are some potential targets, but they seem to be quite covered. And knight takes c4 has been played. Queen takes is also possible, but after bishop takes c3, you'll have to take with the queen, which is slightly awkward, I feel.
Here, can we do something clever? I'm not sure what it gives us, frankly.
No, I think giving white more time to consolidate is wrong here. I think he needs to start. Yeah, this could be a plan. This could be a plan, actually. What if I was trying to figure out if I can just ignore it altogether and go rook b1. Or king d1, king e2, actually. Yeah, that is. But then f5 in some version. Yeah, king g1, bishop a4 check. You have to probably play king e2, and then, or maybe even flick it in first. Yeah, g takes, king e2. But yeah, but after knight takes a4, you need to justify it tactically somehow, because you are being slightly torn apart here. This seems to lose a rook.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to work yet, but it feels like you have to be very on point, but there are resources for that.
No, absolutely. Black obviously has counterplay here, and but he does need to be fast, because if he allows more consolidating maneuvers, it will be difficult to break.
Speaking of fast, Veselin Topalov ended his game quite quickly and is joining us. Have a seat, Veselin.
Yep. This is. Whoops. Yep. So, tell us
everything.
Tell us what was going on, because.
I think this idea, of course, I think queen c2 is a move that, there are some old games when black takes on c4. And that was my preparation, but the thing is, of course, here, what I did I don't like, so okay, obviously white has to go for the Meran, which is a completely different story, because this idea, it was just an idea, but I don't really think it's anything. Probably even if I have to play like this, maybe, for example,
bishop g5 transpose back to the main line.
Bishop g5, and then somehow they provoke h6. Maybe with the pawn on h6 it could be a bit better for.
Oh, but bishop e7, e3, knight h5.
Yeah, then maybe h4 and h6, then bishop f4 probably, for example.
This way.
Like this to provoke h6. But okay, this is like I believe that also knight f6 was good, but the idea of the knight b6 is that. what black wants to do is to provoke the knight on e5, and then f6 is coming. So for example here g6 is strong, and now okay, if I go bishop d3, then bishop g4 goes to h5, and again f6. Well, for example here knight here, and then I think I was not sure that this is working because black just wins a pawn. Oh, no, sorry. Yeah, maybe that was kind of a move.
But even
I
so.
had some fantasy that black plays f6,
and then
take and then queen h4, but jumping from through the f6 pawn. So it was maybe, you know.
Bishop d6, queen e7 is probably still.
Yeah,
still
but then
okay.
I cast alongside, and it's, you know, at least it's a game. But
sure.
But it, you know, the bishop is. It could be in trouble after knight e2 g3 here. So.
Oh, that is a good point. Yes.
But of course, yeah, always f6 is possible, so it's complex. It's difficult.
And
to
in
say.
the game, you got a very similar position with the inclusion of h4.
Yeah, h4, and now of course f3 was also a possibility. But I thought it was just artificial to go king f2. But for some reason I thought it was like maybe black prepares c5, or I couldn't really understand what was going on. Because c5 I have a3 and it's unclear.
Yeah, it's a very strange position to assess.
What I didn't like here for me was that black can, well, but again I have this idea to go knight e2 sometimes. I thought that black is solid also. This was maybe interesting, and in the game I thought it was kind of around equal.
Yeah, that's what it felt like.
So okay, queen e7. So like I didn't know. I thought without queens for sure white has is not in any danger. And
well, one question we couldn't figure out was why don't you start with h5?
That is true. Yeah, that is completely true, because then, but of course that would be more or less the same after king f7.
Yeah, but it's a tempo. Yeah,
it is true. Yeah, it is true.
But probably
it doesn't change anything, I believe, because position is kind of.
Yeah, you probably get the same structure.
Because after king f7, still I have to take, and okay. It's not much I can do. There's not much I can do.
Let's say takes, rook g1, and king f7. Yeah, it's more or less the same position. Yeah.
So, but of course I'm not forced to take on g6 now. For example, I can somehow, and I couldn't really understand. Should I allow g5 and rook g5? But maybe it's always around equal, like positional equality. We have to stay. I don't think. And I thought, for example, here my idea was that okay, if black allows a5 and a6, then sometimes when I place my knight on c5, then f3, e4 could be, you know, idea. If I change both rooks, which is also not easy, of course. But okay, also he has this rook h5, very strong move, and here okay, it's just kind of equal. Because, for example, after rook g1, he could try something like this, but I think it's still nothing. I mean we're just waiting.
No, but the opposition is very, very solid.
Yeah, and for example, sometimes I also threaten to go to c5. So it's just a positional draw, I think. So of course, we could somehow play more, but basically, I don't see plan for any sides.
So you say yesterday was the best game you played in a long time. Was today better or a step back?
No, it was not better, but at least I'm not taking too many risks. You know, like I would say yesterday it was just a good game because especially we both made like 40 moves, so I don't know how many, without big mistakes, and it's compared to all my games this year, it's a big improvement.
So far, the Norwegian air is helping you to recover.
Well, I mean, 2 draws. Of course, it's not a big result. But with the black pieces against Levon, it's always difficult. And draw with the world champion, it's fantastic.
Before you go, can we get your opinion on some positions that are still in play? This Giri MVL is very weird.
Well, that is true. Who is moving now?
White to move.
It's difficult to say.
Yeah, it's a very, very interesting
I guess
sequence of events. Yeah.
have no idea.
Yeah. We know what international master Tsakanian would say about this position, right? Black has an extra pawn.
Yeah, this is
Yes,
the
so-
only thing we know for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know, I have already some strange idea to go maybe rook g1 and queen h1, attack on g5, with the idea to push.
Yeah, we're already happy we asked you because that is very,
Yeah.
very curious.
But it's true that h5 is a threat, so
Yeah,
I
this
don't know.
h5 is a threat here. Yeah.
so it's really a strange position. And
Very strange, but it seems like black is fine. At
probably
least.
black is
At least fine.
strictly speaking, black should be fine, but of course, over the board it all looks different. I mean, in this kind of situation, I always tend to like the one who attacks. But
Who's attacking?
Yeah, but this is
no, I thought. I mean, I believe that the black king is a bit worse than the white king. So this is my criteria. But of course, it has nothing to do with the position. You know.
What about this one?
I think Aronian should be better, no?
Yeah, we thought so.
somehow
We thought so
maybe
15 minutes ago, but in this
now
position, we think that maybe white stabilized a little bit.
Yeah, I like black, but maybe it's not so clear. Yeah. But of course, again, it's also not clear what black has to do now, because all his pieces are on
Yeah, it seems like
perfect squares.
Yeah.
But if he cannot do now anything, then. But again, the knight is well placed on attacking on d4.
No, of course, black has tremendous compensation, but if he is better, yeah, we can't really work that out anymore.
But it's true that for the moment it's not clear. Okay, maybe rook b8 is a possibility. Sometimes to play rook b5. Well, I don't know.
It's
No,
actually
with the other
white-
one,
white
I
to
thought
move, yeah.
the other.
The
it's
other one actually, yeah, you can because
But
F2
okay,
is
maybe f3 is some f3.
F3 would allow bishop c3 in the later
Yeah,
game,
that
so
is
I'm not
true.
sure you're so happy playing
Exactly.
f3 here.
So no, I like black actually, but because
Yeah,
even
sure.
queen g6. In fact, it's not clear what white can do, because taking on a5 should never be good.
No, I don't think you ever take on a5.
So, and it's not clear what
He's played queen e2, and it
Just to
seems
wait,
like
yeah.
he's waiting for now, and they both are in this holding pattern.
yeah.
World champion Magnus Carlsen is joining us, so I'll vacate my seat.
Stick around. Okay. Oh, we're doing this?
You don't. Everybody doesn't have to.
No, okay.
Yours.
Okay. Well,
Vesselin's going, I'll stick around.
yeah, we've had Vesselin's perspective on the game. Let's. I'll hand you. I'll hand you the mouse, and you tell us what you thought.
Well, there isn't so much to say. I sort of went for the I'm black today approach, so I might be able to play for something more at some point, but you never know. It's a little bit risky, and I have a solid alternative. So let's just be solid today.
What do you think about this G3 idea? 'Cause that kind of changes the position quite a bit from.
I can't say I was overly impressed. It just feels like black is very solid, and as long as I get rid of the light squared bishop, I never can have any problems.
After bishop h5, we were looking at f3. What was your plan there on move 13?
Just queen e7.
Yeah, we discussed this
F2,
briefly with Vesselin on air, and
Yeah,
this was probably a sort of
castle.
maybe knight e2 G3 is a plan somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah, so king b8. I don't know. Knight g3, f6.
F6 probably, yeah, and you take on G4.
Take on g4, and then rook e8.
Yeah, your structure is just more solid here.
Yeah, okay, well, if he gets h5, it's a different story, but here it feels like, I don't know, queen e2 c5 or something.
Yeah, you should.
Feels like
Yeah, you should have
first.
counterplay. Yeah. Yeah, and afterwards, yeah, we were wondering.
Yeah, this is the point where on another day, you know.
Maybe queen e6, but I was advocating something like a4 here. I'm not sure why you chose not to do it, but.
No, simply a4 for instance, and then.
Yeah, it's not so easy for
knight c4, a5.
I think you probably have to play a6. Or
okay, I can go queen g4 if I want to, and if king e1, I go queen g2. And that's probably
that should be.
Well, king e2. Then.
Yeah, just king e2 is a draw. Yeah, sure.
A draw. Or also, I was thinking about queen b4 after queen e6.
Yeah, that also is an option. But
and if I castle, knight c5, if I give a check. Then he goes king d3, and a4, a5 is coming.
Yeah, it's actually quite safe on like around d3 here.
This was what I realized, that in principle I should not exchange queens with the safer king, but then I started to wonder whether my king is really safer. So
yeah, in some cases it might not be. Yeah, we were.
So yeah, I decided just to bail out.
Yeah, and. H5 is probably slightly more precise here than queen takes e7.
Yeah, of course. And then I would go king f7.
Yeah, but it's pretty much the same position, I guess. So kind of a correct draw today, I guess. Yeah,
very much so. Yeah, there wasn't so much to do. I mean, at least after with the approach I chose after the opening, I think. He cannot do much, and I cannot do anything without taking serious risks.
So what's
well, I mean, every game but mine is interesting. So this is
always the same.
Yeah, what do you think? What do you think about this? This is very. I mean, I actually like. The more I think about it, the more I like black here. Like takes,
bishop c5.
Yeah, and bishop c5, exactly. Probably queen h2, I guess, is the plan.
Yeah.
Although am I blundering? No, I'm not blundering the piece.
I seem to remember some game like Kamsky-Gelfand from the candidates in Kazan, where that was a much better version for white though, but there was some position like this when it seems like black is a pawn up, dominating with the knight in the center. White has a couple of bishops, and long term it's not so easy with the bad king. But here, yeah, black is just way too.
Yeah, here I think black is just way too active. And if you take on c5, the idea of rook g3 takes c3 becomes huge. So.
Yeah. No, here black king, again, at the moment it's very safe. Long term, I don't know, but in such a position there might not be long term.
Other rook is coming to e8, and in general I think, if we're not missing something immediately here, it seems like maybe something like this, but I find it very hard to believe this will ever work.
No, just knight
bishop
e3.
Yeah, bishop e3 check, I think, is the cleanest.
Okay. I thought knight e4 takes queen c5.
Yeah, that was also winning. And that's
no, it isn't just.
So I don't know. It seems to me that after bishop c5, black could be a great deal better, actually.
Yeah,
so
I agree. No, it seems that I don't know. Anish, I wouldn't say he missed d5, but he certainly.
No, because he blitzed bishop e2, and after rook g8 he thought for 45 minutes, and then d5. The computer says black is better already, so
yeah, but I'm sure rook g8 is bad.
Yeah, g5, and that's dangerous.
If it wasn't, then Anish would.
Yeah, that's the reasoning we all know. Yeah, if it's not in the top 5 moves, which it probably isn't, it must have something wrong with it. But from a practical standpoint, it was probably a decent choice because
absolutely.
It surprised.
I mean, it's very. I mean, if you don't know the position, you start calculating g5, hg, knight e5. I don't know.
Yeah, this is what we were looking at, like
queen f4,
like knight h7, knight g4. But none of these things work exactly. And after knight h7, I became very worried about this, and I don't know. It becomes interesting, So let's put it like this. So. Yeah, well, curious choice, but it seems to have paid off because currently, I mean, the position I have on the board, I struggle
actually. This actually happened.
Yeah, this is on the board, and I'm struggling to find a way to continue for white, to be honest, because queen h2 d4 looks incredibly scary with d3 next move. And if you take on c5 and allow rook g3, you will get mated, I think, simply.
No, I mean you need to control the black squares. That's,
Somehow, but how do you even begin?
I don't think.
Yeah. So.
Were you happy or sad that Anish's streak ended yesterday?
I didn't think so much about it. I was puzzled by the way the game went. Especially since I thought that when Paul went for h5, that's basically just resignation. And it didn't seem like a resignable position. But the streak, well, it's good for you guys.
The promotion is over. Yeah. Cost us a lot of money.
Yeah.
But yeah, apart from that,
It's a little bit weird. Like he seemed to be in good shape, but now. He went for it, but it feels a bit stupid when you play one move on your own. And,
that's not a pleasant feeling. But
and that's probably gonna be the game right there.
yeah, and what about this?
It's over. Yeah.
This
Draw.
looks. I mean,
It's been drawn.
Yeah.
wow, that's one of the most bizarre repetitions I've ever seen. No, it looked huge for black.
Yeah, we thought so as well. Yeah.
I like after if we're talking like 12, 13 moves, you don't really know with Levon whether he's sacrificed a pawn or whether it's preparation or he just sacrificed the pawn and pretending it's preparation. But clearly. Clearly here it feels like something has gone horribly wrong for white.
Yeah.
Queen e2 was Karana Anand, and h6 is the first new move, so they're...
Yeah.
Here, for instance,
Well, it's Anand Karana, no?
You're right. Yeah.
yeah. Here I was advocating playing bishop.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say the same, just to
Thank you.
just to get rid of.
Yeah, just force the capture on a5 and start putting pressure, on everything. So
I mean, practically speaking.
we were, Jan over here was saying, he will be very surprised if white survives this.
Yeah.
So
So we are very surprised.
yeah, good.
I'm puzzled. I still don't understand why he repeated moves, but I'm guessing we can ask him in a minute.
It's just running out of ideas, probably.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
So what's the last one?
And
This one is going to be drawn somehow.
probably there's a curious idea for white here, though. I can take and I can play bishop d7. But 94 works. Sorry, I'm going crazy here. Sorry, I thought I'm forcing the rook to go somewhere there, and then I'll take on b7. But 94 is a move. Because if you have to take on b7 here with the queen after 94, I mean I probably pick black. It should be close to equal, but if I have to pick, I probably pick black because black is better coordinated, and the king is a bit dodgy. But is there anything else?
What's the last game?
That I think is the last game. No. There's also the Nimzo.
Well, it looked like insufficient compensation, but in a practical game, you never know. But now, now it's
Yeah, you take on b6
take on
probably.
B6,
Yeah,
and it looks pretty safe for white to me.
you take on b6, you take with the bishop, and you start running towards that side. But after queen, it's a bit awkward still.
A4.
Yeah, but maybe you can. Yeah, with the bishop's gone, you can afford to play a4, sure.
Okay, it's not that clear. It's not clear.
But yeah, white seems to have consolidated to a degree. But yeah, it's still not completely clear.
Yeah,
Like
with
h5,
the
h3, queen
b-file,
h4.
yeah.
Yeah, like
Exactly.
let's start digging. Yeah. So thanks a lot for
Yeah, sure.
your opinions, and we'll wish you the best for the rest of it. Yeah, thank you.
We do?
We wish everybody the best for the
Yeah,
rest of it. Yeah, we-
nice guys. You have no hidden agenda. Sorry.
Thanks, Magnus.
Thank you.
Выглядело хорошо, но в конце ничего нету просто.
Ну ты как-то
Повыпустил, да?
медленно, да, как-то ты подошел к этому вопросу.
А G5 если не ходить, то...
Ну сейчас мы тебя допросим, погоди. We live?
Я не говорю по-русски. What happened, Levon?
Very good.
Yeah, it looks promising for me, I have to say. I was getting very excited.
My first question is, because I am very greedy, is why didn't you take the exchange after knight takes b3, f4? You can trap the rook.
Yeah, I thought rook e2, queen d1. Take.
Yeah, this is
Hard to make
this any
progress.
good for me?
No, the computer liked your stuff better. I was just curious. Why?
This I don't like so much. The knight on f3 is
yeah. This is what I was saying. That this is
The
much
most.
easier also to play for white than what you got in the game.
yeah.
No, we. What I thought, and also Magnus was of the same opinion that bishop c2.
But this is not good. Rook a2
Why? Take.
takes. Rook h3.
Ah. This we of course failed to consider completely, but.
Okay.
And you think you will get mated, or?
I don't know. This looks extremely sharp. Maybe I had to go for it.
Because yeah, it's impossible for me to understand.
I wasn't sure. Rook b8, bishop h6, gh, queen d3. What's happening?
Goodness me. I have no idea.
I thought this is just too complicated. I wanted a clearer way, but maybe I had
but
to go
that
for
at
this.
least explains why you didn't play this, because we thought, you know, if white has to take on a5,
No, come on. I'm not a complete putzer, am I?
we were surprised by your choice. Let's put it
Okay.
like this.
But I probably should have went for this. But it looks extremely sharp. Maybe it works.
Yeah,
Rook b8, yeah.
Rook b8
Queen
or
e7, what happens?
let's say
Queen
we.
e7, f4. I wasn't so sure.
If you take, you get
Bishop e3.
pinned.
And then everything starts rolling. Yeah.
Yeah, when those guys start rolling,
Yeah. This
I'm not
is
sure.
this is curious. I mean, there's always the possibility.
Probably the computer
Still
is
not sure.
laughing at me.
Exactly. I was
Yeah.
about to say that
Switch it on.
the machine is just hysterical about all this.
Yeah.
But like bishop b6 and what guys, what rolling. But yeah, I don't know.
For us mortals, king h1, this
Yeah, and then
can look dangerous. But probably it's not. Yeah, queen c4.
Queen c4 or even queen e7. Yeah.
Yeah, I should have been more pragmatic, because this was my initial plan to play bishop c2. Because bishop c2 looks.
Yeah, this
natural.
is what we thought. Yeah, we were very surprised this didn't just happen immediately. But yeah, this is what happens. Yeah, you play against yourself a little bit. You find something and you decide this is very strong and I shouldn't allow this.
Yeah.
But
Probably you guys are right.
but afterwards,
But
let's say.
afterwards, I think white is fine, because I didn't see how I can play without g5.
So let's say you went queen e7, rook a2, and you're looking. I mean, are you afraid about afraid of f4 happening, or do you not just see the plan? What's the bigger issue?
The biggest issue is, of course, f4. Another thing is he wants to play f3, g5 at times, and then bring the other guy and start rolling again. So
Yeah, and the bishop on a5 is now slightly ridiculous.
yeah, bishop c2 had to be played, because after g5 I thought that white is fine, but I didn't see a way not to play it. I thought here I have to be careful. I thought I'm slightly worse here. I thought after rook b2 actually.
Well, what can white do? The position still looks nice.
He has ideas like rook h3 and then bring the knight to g3. So I have to watch
So
like what's happening all the time.
and you have like no active plan whatsoever.
I didn't see it. I didn't
Like
see
if
it.
you bring the rook from f8 to b5, it's nice, but it doesn't do anything. Or what?
Yeah, I thought about this actually. Well, at this moment I'm not sure if I can do it, because he takes on c6, yeah?
Even this is possible. Yeah, knight c6. Yeah, this works. I mean, you can claim it's a pawn sacrifice, and now you've.
Rook b3? I don't know.
Yeah, no, I'm more joking than anything
Okay.
else. Yeah, rook b3, f3, and it's very solid. I mean, you still have compensation.
Yeah, I do, but I've developed a more casual approach to such compensations, you know?
So
And then I wasn't sure what to do here, yeah.
yeah, but then it's a bit difficult because you have no entry square. Yeah? So tell us honestly, when did you start thinking today?
Honestly, when I played a5, I knew that there was a move like a5. I didn't know any details.
Because we thought you might be,
No,
hooked up to here or
No,
something.
please. That's ridiculous.
What do you mean, please? You work on chess, or at least
No,
you
but,
know people who work on chess. Let's.
Not really. No, I thought what he played was interesting, but you're definitely right. I shouldn't have been too clever. I should have played bishop c2 and seen White's reaction. Although I'm not so sure it's any good for me up to this point.
Yeah, if he takes on d5, he probably even take with the queen, maybe.
Yeah, I thought queen d5. Yeah.
This is what we finally settled on during the show. So, after the first 2 rounds, what's your general feeling?
I think this game was a miss. Yesterday was a normal game, but this game was a miss. So, but I'm enjoying playing chess. So, when something brings you joy, you can't complain.
That is fair. So we, since we're ending every press conference with a wish, we wish you that the joy is never ending, that you never actually stop liking the game, and
Thank you.
all the best for the rest of the tournament.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Levon. How's Anish doing? He's still suffering?
Anish is probably still. He went queen f1 instead of queen h2. Probably so that in this position d3 is not as crushingly strong as with the queen on h2. But after knight e4, he went bishop f3, and as black here, you feel you should be winning by force somehow, right? Like knight takes f2. If you take on f2, I'll play d3. If you take on a8, I probably play d3 anyway, followed by bishop e3 check.
Looks like checkmate.
Yeah, it does feel like, black didn't even need to sacrifice much for this. Black has a pawn for the exchange here, which really isn't.
Clearly can get your exchange back whenever you need.
Yeah, and also the h1 rook is a dead rook walking, and bishop e3. I mean, giving mate is slightly stronger than picking the exchange, but seems like MVL is. Unless we're missing something important. Knight f2 is rook takes e5, and an improvement of White's position, but probably just take, and here we will take the exchange.
I can't count. We're material up?
Yeah, we will be material up as well as probably still attacking as black. Yeah. So feels bad, man.
Yeah. This has been a bad day for Anish, because rook g8 caught him by surprise. And I know the feeling, if you're booked up in some line, but then there's some move you're not aware of, it's very hard to play sometimes, because you're kicking yourself.
Sure.
Why didn't I check this one? I have to calculate. It's all very unclear. And his first independent move was more or less a blunder, this rook g1.
Yeah, but missing d5 is very, very easy. I mean,
No, I understand how it happened
to
but
anyone.
He's still gonna be.
Probably.
He's not gonna be happy.
Yeah, well, Maxime will recheck these things a couple of times to make sure he doesn't miss anything important, but it does feel to me like knight takes f2 just finishes the game here.
There must be other ways to run.
D3 might be even faster, because like bishop e2, bishop e4, bishop e3 is just good mate. So MVL could opt for this as well. It also looks completely crushing. Bishop c5, queen c5 is also seemingly completely game over.
Resigns, no?
Yeah, so he's probably just choosing between these two things.
Maybe takes on rook h2 and the game continues a bit.
Well, a bit.
Not saying it's great, but at least.
Yeah, maybe it does continue a bit here. Although I mean, knight g3 probably is winning on the spot as well. Queen f2, and I don't. Yeah, this might prolong the game a little bit. I think this might be reason enough not.
Even
to
rook c8, black is winning here, but
of course, yeah. But I mean, knight f2 seems to be a straightforward win in every line apart. I mean, unless I'm missing something drastic. So, yeah, seems like MVL is about to win with black against a very, very strong opponent, and derail Anish's march a little bit here. In the Lichao Kramnik game, after Queen e2, Lichao chose to wait a little bit. And
what happened? Why is it 2 pawns down all of a sudden, by the way?
It's because
I understand. Where did the other one go?
He created those weaknesses on the queen side we talked about, and then he had to give all of them up, more or less, to establish the bishops we were planning to establish. But his compensation here is tremendous. I'm not sure he's worse.
So queen e7, he took on f6.
He took on f6, gf, bishop takes e6 is pretty equal.
Draw.
So I think the critical line here should be this, and yeah, I'm not sure you can take on b7, but maybe I can take on a8 here. I guess this is his plan, but
Only black can be better here, no? h5 or whatever, the white king is weaker.
sure, but still, I mean, with rooks against the queen, you probably feel you shouldn't be losing this with white.
No, I agree, but like...
Yeah, queen and knight against against
careful,
anything.
h4.
Yeah. h4, rook d. No, rook d1 is already a problem. Yeah, hg. Yeah, this is an issue for white, but I don't think you play bishop takes c6 because that endgame is also very, very
No, it's just a pawn down.
cheerless. Yeah.
So queen b7, how did it go?
94, and I mean you
Here
have
I
a
don't have a
choice.
better
You
move.
you can try rook e1 maybe, but once again something like h5 or yeah h5 probably.
Also, sorry, why not knight e2? Oh, rook e2, I'm sorry.
Knight e2, rook
Not-
e2. Yeah, I was kind of happy with, but yeah, you can.
b8, queen a7.
Okay, yeah, I think you play something like h5, but then maybe white can play like queen d7 here and start creating awkward situations for black. So
Yeah, this looks like this.
yeah,
Enough play.
maybe rook fe1 is stronger than queen queen a8. And we'll briefly switch back to MVL's game because he's going for a brilliancy prize here, which I think was not strictly necessary, but why not?
I went 93.
Yeah, he went 93. If he takes, I think bishop. No. I think the point is probably this
Checkmate, right?
and this, right?
Looks
And
checkmate.
this, and this, and this.
Rook e5.
You are ruining my perfect checkmate on the f4 square, but I will get it eventually anyway, I think.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna survive, but
And
for
if,
more than one.
yeah, and if king d2, I think he'll just take on e1 probably. Although it feels a bit sad.
Yeah, that feels like.
Yeah, I think actually for style points d3 was maybe cleaner, but
I like d3.
yeah, you know, in general, when you're winning in two ways and one of them is a check, you pick the one that is not a check. But yeah, I mean, we are
Isn't that only a rule in study composing?
probably, yeah, but might also be applicable in some non-study cases. Knight e1, queen f2. I mean, knight takes c2 wins. Probably d3 might win as well, but I'm less sure about that. d3.
I like d3.
Yeah, but how do you give mate?
Haven't thought about it, just like it. Check, king takes.
Ah, and there's the mate.
There is a check.
There's the mate. So that is also winning because if you don't take on f2, I will take on h1 next move, and queen f2 d3 seems to be mating on the spot. So I retract my stylistical objections. This is actually quite beautiful.
So let's show the line again after c takes d3, just for.
No, king d2 has been played, so
Okay, still.
bishop a3, so
King
that after
d2
knight,
is forced.
so that after knight
Queen
c3 we
c3
have
is
queen
good.
c3. So king d2, bishop b4. There is knight c3 here, but it's it will spoil the
Doesn't
fun.
help
So who
much.
does that? King e2, check. King f3, check. King
Feeling
f4.
there should be a quicker mate here, but maybe there isn't.
Yeah. Yeah, I wanted to go queen c7, rook e5, queen takes e5, but it's not made.
No.
But I mean, in this position, once again, you can do whatever you like. You can play rook e3. I mean, if you want to make one quiet move somewhere, you can probably do
That's
this.
a good one. Yeah.
So the position currently on the board is this, and
But no, I don't want to make quiet moves.
go for it. No, you're trying to blunder a queen, right?
I am.
Why?
No, maybe there's no. Okay.
Yeah, that is good enough.
Yeah, but no.
Most of these things will be good enough, and the game will finish in. I wonder if Anish will actually allow queen c4 mate on the board.
Doubt it. What's happened? Queen takes e1 and bishop e3 check will be played. Nah, I think he's gonna resign right here, right now.
I think. I mean, in a similar situation, I allowed mate on the board because I felt that the game will be more rounded off if you do. But yeah, I have a feeling he will
But you
lose.
enjoy self-deprecating humor more than most.
I also like, well, you know, I like chess as a game, and I feel that when your opponent played a nice, beautiful game, and
Do you think he thinks MVL played a nice, beautiful game? Doesn't he think, I'm such an idiot, I didn't check rook g8 or I didn't react correctly? I think those thoughts are much more.
they're not mutually exclusive, I think, but
Maybe. But yeah, the game is over. He didn't take on d3. And yeah, nice win for MVL, and pity for Anish. Got some sharp homework in, but then he was surprised by this move, rook g8. And yeah, as Magnus has explained, it's probably not a good move because it surprised Anish, but it worked.
yeah. Was a from a practical viewpoint was a very, very good idea. So what we have left is Vladimir Kramnik, which we covered to a degree, the game between Elyanov and Hare Krishna, which
Hare is fighting for a draw, but maybe successfully. There's some
I'm
targets
not
on
sure
that.
who is fighting for a draw anymore, to be honest, because Black will win some material back on the king side now. I think Black is better.
Really?
Well, how do you reply to this?
I thought it was White's move for starters. Okay, that changes things a little bit.
No, I
Gonna
think
go
I think,
gh5.
I think Black is now better, and the game actually followed pretty close to what we were discussing. But after bishop a4 check, this is interesting. He decided not to include rook takes b6, which is the difference between what we were discussing when Magnus was here
And to go to c1.
and the current position. And yeah, because of that, he had, well, it's still an option, but he probably didn't like it that much to play king g2 and meet queen g5 check with king e2.
Yeah,
There's
queen
probably
h4
there's
or
queen
whatever.
h4. There's lots of issues with this. And after king c1, Harry played h5, opening
Nice move.
the king side whilst at the same time creating luft for his king. And Pavel decided to try and bail out by taking and going rook b1. But now Black can win the pawn back by just taking on g4. And yeah, White will have to be careful because his structure is very vulnerable to the black pieces. Should still be a draw objectively, I think, but
You want to take the knight off?
you want a knight off?
No, it's all yours. Like, okay. I don't understand anything. We'll be joined by MVL and Anish Giri in a minute. That's why I'm leaving the show, because I'm scared of them. Congratulations.
So we'll take a look at this. So let's get you mic'd up. So this is the critical point, I guess, yeah?
Yeah, of
Well, I
course,
mean, before that, because I couldn't remember exactly.
yeah, before that there was an opening. There was the opening basically. But here, of course, I must say that I spent a lot of time focusing on ideas related to something like this. Let's say bishop b7, g5, knight knight e5.
Yeah,
Queen f4.
and then take.
Takes, knight
Knight-
f7.
Or knight h7, I wasn't sure.
Knight h7 is very dubious, but yeah, with rook on g1 is possible as well. Well, basically, I was spending a lot of time analyzing these positions, calculating these positions, and I was mostly thinking which rook I want to have there.
Yeah,
where.
and there you have rook h7, bishop h5 stuff.
Then I have some stuff. I was not sure which stuff, but I have some stuff. If I start with g5,
Yeah, this is
I
what
was
the machine likes,
unsure
but-
about this. Even it shouldn't work, yeah.
It probably doesn't work. I think I was considering just to. Yeah, because I cannot do what I want, definitely.
But how exactly? I was not sure.
Yeah, because at a very small depth, so we can't really trust it. The machine likes
But
g5.
maybe you can take on b5 at some point. I mean, like bishop g4 now.
Hg,
Yeah, and maybe even take on g5.
bishop takes.
Queen takes.
Yeah, I was calculating this position takes.
Rook h8.
Okay, first of all, how do I win here?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not completely sure myself, but
I'm not sure also. But okay, here I have bishop e6 and
But that ends in with you being an exchange down or something.
the thing is also okay.
no, I was considering taking knight d7.
Of course, this I was not sure at all how I'm killing this
Because
I need to break him somehow. Yeah, because if he goes knight f8 and stabilizes,
yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I must say, okay, I should have spent more time. The thing is that here
you
it's
also
surprisingly a lot of options that black has in these variations. And I was not deep enough everywhere, of course, but
yeah, and I couldn't.
still.
After bishop e2, I was considering, first of all, d5 immediately doesn't work.
yeah, I just didn't see this idea. I just didn't know about
Yeah, but
this idea d5.
that's very easy to miss because none of us had seen it either.
I mean, it's just so shocking. The guy is not developed, and he goes
Yeah.
d5. And of course, the
Yeah.
key is that there is never queen
Yeah,
takes
but
f4.
here knight b5 is a problem. I thought. I mean, maybe there are other problems like d6, but at least knight
Compared
b5.
to the game, I'd be very happy.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, knight
No, but the big-
b5,
Knight b5, which one?
either, because you take
we
back
take with the knight, and then queen c3.
Queen c3.
Rook d5.
Yeah,
In the game, I don't have this rook d5.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's a big difference.
This huge difference, yeah. No, I mean, I just completely missed the idea of d5. I was focused on this dark square blockade. I mean, and then d5 happens, and of course, I shouldn't collapse so fast. The thing is, I was daydreaming about this.
yeah, no.
Here it doesn't work. It only works with the rook on d1. But
Yeah,
But
but
it's
I
nice,
thought.
no, still?
I mean, I was considering actually playing bishop b7.
I'll be very
but
happy to play this.
I didn't want to allow this, and you know, even
I mean,
if the computer
I'm-
says it doesn't
Yeah,
work,
but
you know,
the-
it
how?
might.
I mean, I have
It's at
long-term
least-
compensation, even.
Yeah, no, you definitely have
I was very
compensation.
happy.
So.
I would be very happy here after having missed d5. But here, yeah, the thing is, I still don't have. Yeah, if I do this, then here you have this
Queen
knight takes
d8.
d5, and
Yeah.
it's just nothing.
yeah, that's
And
all.
okay, this should not be that bad.
Yeah, after
Or
knight
maybe
e5, you
this
had
I have
maybe
to play.
d6.
D6, yeah, here.
Yeah, but then I just take on
Exchange,
so,
huh?
yeah,
you take the exchange.
Yeah, yeah.
And what is this? Just quickly.
Yeah, I would have
Takes
taken.
castles, yeah.
Yeah, I would
that's
have taken on g1 and played bishop c5, but long castle is also fine.
H4 I have to
Queen
play.
bishop c5. I think it's quite.
It's, yeah,
quite
exactly.
good.
This was very
It's,
sad.
yeah.
Very sad. So yeah, but I have no move simply.
I think after e5, the suggestion is bishop f3, but it's still not
That's
very
deep.
nice for you.
That's
And what's the
deep.
evaluation
No,
of this position?
You're worse. You're not lost, but you're worse.
I saw this move actually, but
Yeah, I
it's
also saw,
so
but,
dubious and so
yeah.
strange.
I also saw something like queen g2, but then bishop g4 works.
I think I saw bishop f3 only here actually, not moving before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, here I was very happy with king f8 because I just removed the king from.
Yeah, maybe it's a good move. Yeah, I didn't see it, of course. I have some ideas of bishop b5 at the moment.
Yeah.
After king f8, I just my position doesn't look so bad. I have compensation, positionally speaking, but I just don't have a move. And
No, okay.
h5 might be in the air.
H5 was actually
It's a huge
also
threat,
I
yeah.
also considered, but then I maybe bishop b5.
Yeah, I mean now you have h5, is that
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
At
Okay,
this point,
is
we had
so
Veselin in the studio, and he suggested rook g1, queen h1, but it's just not fast enough because h5 will win probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, and okay, this is so sad. I mean, you can just resign here.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty much lost, I think, because you just can't stop the dark squares attack here.
Yeah. No, I mean I was surprised that how easily it collapses, but sometimes it happens in this position.
Yeah. I mean,
But of course, I mean it shouldn't
not very
collapse so
badly.
easily.
No,
but you
not
just.
knight f5 is. I mean, I
you're
should.
just not in
As
time.
long as I keep the knight on d4, I will have some chances of practical chances. Once the knight is gone, I just forgot about this move, bishop c5, entirely. Otherwise, I still have bishop d4. Also, I just didn't see an alternative, really, to be honest.
Yeah, no, but this maybe is too late because h5 is just such a huge
h5
threat.
is a huge threat. Yeah, this bishop f3 maybe here. I was
Bishop
only.
f3 at least keeps the position
Yeah.
alive, yeah.
Yeah. No, it should be. It doesn't look dead at all.
Well, I mean bishop f2 I can just take and take on g4 maybe.
Knight
Isn't
d4.
knight d5?
Ah, knight d5 and rook g4 at least.
Or maybe rook g4 first and then knight
Yeah,
d5.
yeah,
No,
yeah.
it becomes unclear. You have to make
good
some
move.
like machine goes rook b8 here, I think, and
No, that's deep.
yeah, that means that this position is still not
playable,
quite clear.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, of course, it's a pity because there were some pitfalls here for black that I was aware, but the move rook g8 took me by surprise, and you spent like I don't know a huge amount of time, thinking about the setup of 95, and then to miss d5 is a huge
No, because
blow.
my first idea also was h5 instead of rook g8, but then you just played g5, knight g4, queen f4. I thought queen f4.
Isn't g6 possible?
Knight e5, I wasn't
It
sure.
takes.
Knight takes and d5, yeah, maybe.
This looks very dubious for black, in my opinion.
Yeah,
but
maybe,
You
but
thought
I thought-
queen f4, yeah.
Queen f4 because if I have knight d5, I'm assuming it's
Yeah, I'm curious, of course, about this position. First of all, this one, but also I couldn't quite figure this one out because okay, let's say if I take this one, okay, this I'm not so happy because
But
long
maybe
term,
you can play h7 after knight f2. After
rook h8.
yeah, and rook g1.
Which
King to
Maybe
d7 you have, yeah.
maybe rook GG1,
Yeah.
not to allow knight G6.
And there's knight CB5 also maybe, yeah?
Yeah.
So he takes,
Yeah, rook G8.
king d7.
Yeah, and just queen F2 back.
bishop G7, but maybe knight B5 will
at some
work
point,
here.
at some point it might work.
Maybe it doesn't.
Maybe not.
No,
not.
maybe it
But maybe not. Yeah, it's
Or maybe it works. Knight.
Okay, I mean you can. Yeah, but you can even take. No, okay, it's not so clear. I have to admit.
Strategically speaking, it's not clear.
Yeah.
And yeah.
You might have knight D5 also at some point. Maybe after
correct,
king
correct,
D7, knight D5.
Here maybe.
No, knight D3 check.
yeah.
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 This always comes back somehow.
Oh, so what if I do this with rook h1? The knight d3 check anyway.
Knight
yeah?
G6 I wanted here.
Oh, by the way, don't you have knight g6?
No, because then I
Queen F2, yeah.
take and h5. Actually, I was afraid that I can play knight G6, queen F2, bishop h4, which looks. But
With
rook
the
G6.
other- with the
But
other.
rook G6 maybe.
Yeah, we're getting slightly carried away.
Yeah, anyway, the thing is,
Yeah.
there were a lot of interesting stuff to calculate here, but yeah, I missed move d5 entirely, and I should have put much better resistance, and I didn't think it was clear yet, but somehow I missed a few more moves.
Yeah, I thought your G5. Yeah, G5 is
G5?
probably the
Yeah, well,
move
we're
you
trying to
should-
calculate this, but after knight e5, you
Knight E5, queen H3.
knight takes e4, or maybe hg first. I'm not-
AG, and here I wasn't sure,
Rook
but
takes.
for instance, rook G5,
I
yeah.
was calculating that, yeah.
Yeah, I thought
saw
it's
this.
unclear.
And g5, if you take d4.
Queen H3, just.
Yeah, wait.
There's also the idea with queen h7. You can take twice and go bishop b7, queen h7. It might not be so bad for you.
Yeah, yeah. No,
Yeah,
I
no,
thought
g5, g5 I thought knight e5, of course, yeah. Queen h3, yeah.
Yeah,
Let's say
Takes.
rook takes.
this could be not
maybe
so
rook
clear.
G5 and knight E4. But
Completely unclear. Yeah, I must be honest with you that I was expecting bishop b7 here, and then I thought this gives me very good practical chances. And here I somehow sort of misjudged this thing. I thought
no, I mean,
due to the weak king, I have
as I
some-
saw bishop C5 comes all the time, I'm completely in time, and you might not.
yeah, I misjudged it somewhat. Yeah, g5 had to be played, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, far too many mistakes for such a position is not the way you handle it.
yeah, no, but this was such a shock for us as well because we thought, okay, rook dg1, you will play something normal now.
Yeah,
like
95,
once,
97.
yeah, once
Yeah,
again.
but something normal isn't good for me.
Yeah,
Well, I
like
mean, he will wait.
we started calculating this
Yeah, but
as
this
well.
doesn't work, yeah.
but this never works. And and then d5, and we started looking, and we suddenly realized that it's not that easy for white to find even the way to play sensibly.
Yeah, I mean, it's also clumsy to go queen h3. I mean, you want to take the pawn on f4, yeah?
Yeah.
And somehow, when you have to make a move like queen h3, you know that something went wrong,
That is true.
at least to some extent. So yeah, but had to, of course. I mean, it's the game basically just starting. It's not that I have to resign here, but as I said, I made just too many mistakes afterwards as well.
Okay, I guess we'll
Thank you.
let you be, and congratulations on the victory.
Thank you.
Seems like I've been abandoned by my partner in crime there, so I'll cover the not abandoned. Okay. The Ilyanov Hare Krishna game, Pavel correctly decided that he needs to pay very close attention, and probably should end in a draw now, right?
That's what I thought. I was thinking about now. If DE, you go D6, yeah? Or
Yeah, probably.
well, it's King F8, so it's
King
no
F8.
big difference. But then even Bishop takes.
and
So here I have Bishop G7.
oh yeah, it's even cleaner. Yeah. No, I think this will be a draw. You can you probably should do this. Yeah. Because if
Yeah,
you
also
if you,
Bishop takes C4, ED,
But it's-
King
it's-
F8,
yeah,
but
it's the
still
same-
Bishop G7.
it's the same position, but for now white even has more pawns. So
Yeah.
this game is about to finish in a draw. I'm slightly curious if black could maybe try for something more here, but f4 is a very,
F4 was a good move, yeah?
F4 was a very good choice, yeah, because queen h4, queen g3, white very successfully locks in the king side, and then if you continue insisting,
F5.
you might run into some problems maybe even. So, yeah, seems like this will finish in
Well, F5, Queen H6, just blunder.
yeah, but you can maybe start
Yeah,
with
start with
this
this.
and then play f5. queen
Yeah,
h6.
black can't be better.
Just king b2 and d6 is weak. So yeah, seemingly, I mean, first impressions was that both sides played quite well, and draw is a
Yeah, it was a
reasonable.
very interesting game. We didn't dedicate too much time to it, but it was highly complicated below the surface.
Yeah,
Kramnik, is he better?
and he did manage to force this endgame. How did he?
It was rook e1 and he just played h5 and
Queen,
Lichau
queen d7
took.
did not come. So why did he? Knight e2 check is a move here. That could be the reason why.
It looks pretty good.
Yeah, because with the if white takes on a8 with the bishop and not the queen, it's not check, and he gets mated. So I guess there is no way to actually sidestep that endgame. So the Lichau took on a8, h4, check, bishop e4, and gh. And my feeling is this should be holdable for white. But
You have to be very precise, no? Like,
yeah,
if black manages to coordinate, get in f5, f4, whatever, it can be dangerous very quickly.
sure. I mean, queen.
So queen takes, is there any direct tricks? Rook c7, or what do you want?
No, I think you can't really separate your pieces too much here. I think this might be. Although I don't see any direct refutation, and then if you can win the a7 pawn, it will make making a draw that much simpler, obviously. Because I don't think white is ever playing for more than a draw here with a queen as weak as this. Even if the a7 pawn falls, black will always have a perpetual of some sort. Well, you can maybe wait here. I mean, the h pawn is not really going anywhere.
How do you want to wait, kind of?
Well, queen e6, but rook c3, I guess, solves this problem, yeah? Because queen e6 creates this threat of knight f3 and queen takes e1, but rook c3 or rook c1 as well, but I like rook c3 better
So you got rook g3 if you need.
yeah, to assume control over the third.
So we're expecting draws in the two remaining games. Shall we? Fiona, are you ready for the next media update? Then we're gonna hand over to Fiona for a bit, and we'll be back to annoy the players with questions once they're done, or before, should it take longer. We'll see you guys in a couple of minutes.
Gonna make my move, gonna live my dream, gonna make my move, gonna live my dream. Every day, the future's getting closer. Every day, the future's looking bright. Every day is another beginning. Gonna make my move, gonna live my dream, gonna make my move, gonna live my dream, gonna make my move, gonna live my dream.
Hello and welcome back, everyone. Round 2 is still underway here in Stavanger, and there are only 2 games still going on. Jan and Peter are taking a well-deserved break, and I will talk you through some of the latest that's been going on in the Twitter sphere on social media, and I'll show you a couple of pictures I've taken today. So let's start my little roundup of the Twitter sphere with a tweet from our very own Peter Svidler. It was a tweet that caught my attention before today's game, and it made me smile. So Peter is saying round 2 of Altibox Norway Chess in 2 hours. Hopefully today the players will show some common decency. I won't finish their games all at once. Well, I'm very glad to see that so far the players seem to have noticed that tweet too, and they have given us a bit more of a break than yesterday's frantic finish. Yesterday was a bit crazy. You will have noticed if you were watching the show, the players were just coming in here one after another. Today they all finished their games nicely with some space in between them, and let's hope they keep it up until the end of the tournament. Then just a little another tweet, a little credit to Jan and Peter. So this is a tweet from Mike Kerr, and he's saying, Peter Svidler, the great, and Jan are in good form today. Love the energy of your show. One love, one community, #C24Live. So thank you very much, Mike, for the positive feedback. We always value that. And yeah, and as I said, I will be doing this part of the show every day, so keep your tweets coming, anything, remarks, criticisms, questions. I'll try and keep an eye on all of it. Just use #C24Live as usual. And then a last tweet I noticed, this was a couple of hours ago, a tweet from Stephen Hamby saying Giri plays 13 G4. So yeah, as I said, this is quite a while back. Clearly eager to replace his drawing streak with a winning one. Yeah, so this I noticed, singled out this tweet because it's a game I wanted to talk about, arguably the game of the day. And maybe while I talk about this tweet, we can bring up the first photo. Just really. Can we bring up the first photo while I talk about the game of the day? In my opinion, Giri against Maxime Vachier-Lagrave. It has to be noted, so the tweet was talking about Anish's drawing streak. This has been discussed quite a lot. Even in the pre-tournament press conference, there was a question from John Ludwig Hammer to Anish Giri asking him if he actually knew how long his drawing streak was, and Anish replied he was aware it was something around 20 games. So I was talking today to Tarjei, and Tarjei informed me that Anish he lost the game in round 1 of Tata Steel in January. He lost to Wesley So, but before that he hadn't lost a game since the European Team Championship in Reykjavik in November. So it's been a very long time without barely any losses for Anish, but today things backfired. A very impressive game from the Frenchman Maxime Vachier-Lagrave, in my opinion, and it will be very interesting to see how both players continue doing in the tournament. Then my 2 last photos of the day, 2 photos from the players' arrivals. Today we have a very sunny day here in Stavanger. The first photo I chose is Veselin Topalov arriving here today. As you can see, the sun is out. Veselin has got his sunglasses out, seemed in high spirits before the game. He noted when he was talking to Peter and Jan that a result against the world champion was always a draw against the world champion was always a good result. So a good day for Veselin. And talking of the world champion, Magnus Carlsen, my last photo of the day is of Magnus arriving here at the playing hall together with his second, Peter Heine Nielsen from Denmark. And the other person you see in the photo is none other than Magnus' manager number 2. Magnus is a very busy guy these days, and as you know now, it takes 2 managers to get all the work done. So that's all from me from today. I think Peter and Jan are around, enjoying their little break, but they will be back in a second. I will be back with you guys tomorrow. As I said, keep the tweets coming, #C24Live, and enjoy the rest of today's coverage with Peter and Jan. See you guys tomorrow.
Welcome back everybody to our coverage of the second round of the Altibox Norway Chess Tournament. We're now being joined by Pavel Elyanov and Pentala Harikrishna. Is that how you say your name? I'm always dumb with Indian names. Is it just Harikrishna? Is it Pentala Harikrishna? How do you want people to call you?
Hari is enough.
Just Hari. Okay. But I've been making so many dumb do not hurry in the spot jokes already that I feel bad about it.
Yeah. But
Do you
I'm
guys
not H Harry, yeah? This Ginger GM has this H pawn.
Harry the H pawn.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
Not that one, yeah.
Don't hurry pushing Harry the H pawn. More material. Do you guys know, by the way, that Peter has been openly rooting for a draw so he can stay ahead of you in the live ratings because he needed you guys to draw?
Yeah, I mean, we all have our interest in this tournament.
But still 7 games are remaining.
I'm fully aware of that, yes.
So what happened in the game? Sharp opening?
Yeah, okay, this is...
This position after knight f4 was the game Topalov
this
Grishuk?
is main line. Yeah. Okay, so knight h3, d5. I think it comes from knight g2 and knight f4, something like this. And okay, g4. Thought this was interesting sacrifice, yeah?
Yeah, I'm not analyzing it in details this line, but as far I remember, I think engine gives some advantage for white here. Okay, I don't know.
It's still there are some games there after king c2, but
So when did you start thinking?
Here. And I'm not sure. Yeah, probably this move it was just bad.
Which one?
Queen d2, because after it I have always some problems with the spin. I don't know, whatever, but maybe not queen d2.
Yeah, bishop g3 was interesting.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, after queen d2, I was thinking this move actually, because I protect my pawn and then go queen e7 and knight d7. I mean, I don't know if something
looks a bit passive, no?
Yes. But I keep my pawn, so.
Yeah, but okay, should be better for white if I mean, yeah, I need to just hold my position and
yes.
in the queen side, and that's all. I think you play it well.
So anyway, I went knight d7, bishop e2. Okay, for a long time I was thinking this move, but then I thought if white would go bishop g5 and I have to play queen g6. Okay, I'm not losing my queen here, but I would prefer to have it on the queen side, yeah. And okay, I have some tricks with knight e5, bishop g4 and bishop c3 or something like this, but yeah, went queen e7 and okay.
Pavel, how did you assess the position around you? Do you think you just have to be precise and consolidate, or is it a compensation?
I think I was not. I think my position. I think it's not clear objectively, but I didn't like my position.
It's harder to play with white.
Yeah, I think it's harder to play. Yeah.
Yeah, here would be maybe I should start with knight b6 here. I don't know if it changes something.
It's more or less the same.
No,
b3 also.
because b3.
No, I think I have also bishop b5, but I don't like.
Yeah, bishop b5. I wanted to go rook b8 and some, I don't know, some a6, knight c4 and something like this.
Yeah, I thought maybe bishop d7.
Bishop d7 also, yeah. Anyway, but you wanted to go b3,
I wanted to play this one.
And if takes queen f6, g5 is just in time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And
so what happened in the game?
Yeah, in the game rook b8, white got queen d3, and okay, it's hard to break this side, yeah.
Also, at some point I could play a3, but I wasn't sure.
When?
We were also thinking, I mean, if you want to be very ambitious, is there any chance you can play rook he1? Jan was suggesting maybe immediately going for the e5 break. I understand it's, very brave, but is it possible that this works?
Even f6 at some point.
Yeah, but maybe this is an improvement for you because later the queen will not have all those jumps.
No, actually I will let white play e5. After e d6 I have just queen f6.
So you're just ignoring it altogether?
Yeah, I will ignore and I just play knight c4, rook b6, okay, e d6 and queen f6.
Yeah, that is a good point.
Because bishop d7, I mean everything is hanging.
Yeah, this is a very good
It
point.
looks very messy here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And a couple moves later, we were surprised. Where was it? That you
Yeah, we thought rook takes b6
no, you
was...
didn't.
No,
Change
bishop
power
a4
moves,
and
Yeah,
lost.
bishop a4, yeah.
Bishop a4 and it's lost.
Just
No, bishop a4
just
is
nice
lost.
intermediate, yeah.
Yeah,
Explains a
we
lot.
kind of missed that, yeah. Good thing you didn't.
And here white is fighting for a draw after h5.
Yeah, but it should be
Okay, it's
easy.
it's
yeah.
equal, I think, yeah, because okay, I mean c5 d6 will be exchanged for c4 d5, and okay.
I think f4 is an important move.
Yes, f4 is very important move. Yeah.
Yeah, because if white doesn't play f4, you
Yeah, I
could
have
maybe...
a lot of weaknesses, yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
but then after f4 we realized that probably it's just enough.
Yeah, f4 it's just a draw. Yeah. Because always queen h4, queen g3 is there, and I cannot make any progress. And okay, also I have to watch out for g7. I mean, I don't have such a free king.
Yeah.
So Ari, we see your trainer and teammate Markus Raga giving you sort of angry looks. Are you happy with the way you guys are working together, or is this something we should know?
That's how he looks. Yeah. I mean, I guess it's always he has this look on his face, you know.
Pavel, do you have a second with you, or is it
Yes.
is he hidden somewhere?
Michael Royce is helping.
Of course. Yeah.
So seems like a interesting, well-played game from both sides.
Yeah, probably if we check with engine, maybe white is winning or black is winning, but
I think it should be a bit better, at least for white at the beginning. But yeah.
but okay, on to play it, you know, it's not so easy to calculate so many variations.
Yeah, I was very upset of what I did after queen d2 because I didn't see a normal way how to rearrange my pieces. Okay. I think
So something instead
also,
of queen d2
maybe first of all, maybe I have knight b5 instead of taking over f4. I mean, yes, here, but okay, it looks too much a bit. Yeah.
No, knight
we briefly
b5.
considered it, but
Yeah, I didn't consider it seriously, but
I saw
okay,
this
maybe it's
move,
possible. Yeah.
it looks very
there was
risky.
some
But
problem
Risky,
with
yeah,
this.
okay. Maybe knight a6 or knight d7, I don't know. Okay, maybe engine gives an advantage for here, but okay, I don't know.
Ask it. Yeah, knight d7 equal.
completely equal.
And
Dead drawn position.
And instead here, what's going on?
Yeah, but you have to understand this engine is not very deep, so
Nah, this engine is weaker than us. Yeah.
there are still some cases where
Stronger than me, Peter sometimes.
So it's still its first line, yeah? And
Yeah.
b5. Okay.
I think bc4 is actually a novelty. There was a game where black played bishop c3, bc3, b4 in this position, which
Yeah, but I didn't want to give the bishop and then try to get the knight on e5. Okay, maybe I could play like, you know, queen f6, yeah, knight d7 and something like this, but I thought bc4 should be good.
no, but this is, I mean,
compensation.
it's a completely fresh position. I
Yeah.
don't think
No, I think it's a very unclear position.
Yeah,
And,
maybe it's unclear.
It's unclear, and okay, I just felt I could. I mean, my moves are a bit easier than white's.
that is
Yeah. Other than this, I think it's quite unclear.
Yeah, it looks like a bad homework for me.
there's
You have 7 games. You can do better ones.
Homework still to
7
do.
more games to get some homework in. Yeah,
Can we get your opinion on the last remaining game, or is it over by now? Yeah, it's over actually.
it's done.
Okay.
Draw, yeah.
Draw and Lee Kramnik.
Yeah.
And
All right.
what's going on?
No, I think
all
everyone,
games are
it's
all
all
games
done.
are over. Yeah.
MVL 1 and 4 draws.
Maximo, won. Okay.
Would you play, if you had this position, would you allow yourself to be checkmated on the board or not? No. That's what I'm saying.
I'm not so good to give my opponent to make checkmate. Only Peter will let it
Yeah,
happen.
that's why the subject has come up.
That's
Because
why
I said if you,
couldn't understand that.
No, only Peter will do it.
I have done that, but
You did?
yeah, at least once, maybe more than once.
You didn't give me that opportunity.
That was a team competition.
All right then, thanks a lot, guys, and yeah, best of luck for the remaining 7 rounds and with your homework, coaches, everything.
Yeah, thank you.
So another reasonably quick round, right? Yeah. We're never in any danger of missing dinner, so not inviting Sergei Kayakin or having Sergei Kayakin not participate might have been a good thing, because he's famous for playing 8-hour-long end games, and looks like, yeah, in his absence, we're gonna get very well fed.
Yeah, and I'm very thankful for that press conference, because, you know, what is it? 8 years later, I find out that Harry still bears a grudge for apparently me not allowing him to mate me on the board. I wasn't aware of that, but now I know. I will have to make reparations of some sort.
But yeah, since it seems to be well established, you're the only guy in the circuit who allows people to do that. If you don't allow them to do that, like it's real heartbreak.
Yeah, and I understand now, but you know, this is how these things work, you know. You feel everything is fine between you and somebody else, and then it all comes out.
Yeah, you can't see into people's heads.
No.
Even while watching their moves, I still don't understand what they're doing. So I was very wrong about Niels Grandelius. I sort of thought he was going to lose that game, frankly, and I had already talked about his bad start, but he hung in there after Levon Aronian probably missed his best chance with his move bishop c2 to force the issue a little bit. Niels got on the scoreboard, scored hard-earned draw with white against Levon Aronian. Vladimir Kramnik was interesting, but it looked like the balance was never really broken.
I think we'll have our chance now.
We'll find out now, because the guys are coming out.
Yeah,
and yeah, let's
I'll move over so that
vacate the middle of the board for Li Chao and Vladimir Kramnik. Do we have enough mics?
Yes.
Welcome, Vladimir Kramnik and Li Chao. Hard-fought game. What happened?
It was a draw. Well, I don't know. That was my preparation. Knight c6, queen c5. I think it's the best move.
Yeah. First, I want to play queen f4, but I mean
after queen d7,
yes,
I don't see really a move.
Yes,
yeah, I mean somehow bishop f5.
I don't know how to play.
Yeah, it's difficult to find a move. No, I was sure queen c5 was still my preparation, but after d4, I thought there was some other move here, knight d4, knight d5, but I couldn't remember anything. I don't know if I analyzed h3, but okay, here I started just to work on the board. So a lot of interesting options here. Yeah, I mean I was calculating some takes, but I'm not sure. Takes knight d4.
BC?
Yeah, BC. I couldn't really make it work. Checking h1, rook c8, something like this.
Queen e3?
I was even not sure about queen a7. Okay. Okay, compute. No, let's switch it off. I mean, otherwise it just makes no. I mean, we just have to tell what we. Rook c8, but I was not even sure about queen a7 or queen a5. It's not so clear. So you say bishop e6 was, it was possible.
Knight e2 we thought?
Knight e2, yeah. I was first of all also knight b5 not so clear to me, but knight e2, yeah, somehow. I didn't believe in it somehow, even queen h5 or something.
Yeah, I saw queen h5, but g6 first, then
or even queen b5, I don't know.
Queen b5, you can play some knight e5 or knight b6, I'm not sure.
Yeah, but even, I don't know, I mean, you just need to b3, you just need, once your knight is on f4, it can even get worse, so somehow I didn't want to calculate, I mean, I didn't want to, I thought after bishop h3 I'm perfectly fine, but I don't know if more.
Queen takes c3,
yeah, that's what, but rook e8 was my plan, after queen c3. Rook e8, some strange, little uncomfortable, I mean, strangely enough. Of course, you have two bishops and so on, but it's, I thought maybe rook e1. I didn't actually see any better move than rook e1 here.
But maybe knight e4, queen d3?
Knight e4, queen d3, yes, I was, and now first I saw that knight b4 was very strong, but then queen c4, I couldn't make it. But it's scary, I mean, it's really scary, but maybe, because knight e4, queen d3, I also have other moves.
Take go knight c5.
Yeah, take knight c5, but I thought, white will just give a pawn and it's just a draw probably. I also was considering rook e1, some queen d5 ideas, just queen h5, knight g4. Okay, I have some initial. I mean, probably computer would say it's equal, but okay, it's definitely more pleasant to play with black. So BC, no, here I just hurried with rook 8. Probably I should have gone knight e4 first, and queen c4, rook e8. I'm not sure it's a big deal. I mean, for me, but at least some jumps.
Bishop g2.
Yes.
Yes, knight d2. I thought maybe I can try to.
It should be a draw.
Yes, yes.
Takes,
No,
takes would be one
it's
or
not a big deal. I mean, even if anything at all. But somehow rook e8, I saw that queen b5 is possible, but I didn't believe it. And now I started to calculate. Okay, I was calculating some strange lines. Okay, of course, knight e4 is a move if I want something.
Yes. Queen b7.
Queen b7, queen f6.
Bishop d7.
Bishop, even bishop f4, strangely enough, I couldn't really make it work completely for black after bishop f4, g5, bishop d7.
Rook a1, I guess.
Knight c3, rook a1, yeah. I mean, even this is very unclear. But yeah, bishop...
Rook a1, knight d4.
Yeah, and you don't have threats, really, I mean...
I don't know how to play for white.
Yeah, even king g2 or something, I don't know, I can get worse. It's by me if you know, with these two bishops, if it doesn't work. But also bishop d7, okay, I was just analyzing some funny lines. Knight e5, yeah.
And take.
Bishop e8, knight f3 check, king g2, knight e1 check.
Okay,
yeah.
I missed this.
Yeah, but king g1 is a draw, I mean. King g1 is a draw, but actually I was not... okay, you have king h1 also possible, but this is really dangerous. Rook e8, and now what was queen d7, I think was a move or something. Knight f2, king g2 somehow. I was calculating, but okay, this might not work for you. I mean, this is really dangerous, but at least king g2 is just a draw. Yeah.
And if you take the bishop there, if you don't play knight
king g2, rook e8.
No, then bishop f4.
Bishop f4.
Yeah, then somehow I thought, with king on g2, this is too much. Yeah, rook e8, bishop f4.
Knight h4.
Well, maximum I can pretend is to make a draw, but even this I didn't see a clear way. Queen d7,
queen d7
comes back to h3. Yeah, but in any case, then finally I was thinking, okay, so I just play queen a5, and I was expecting, of course, queen takes a5, and it's probably just equal position. Yeah.
A4 was take then bishop e3.
Yeah, bishop e3, something like this. Yeah, it's kind of equal. Probably I will change one knight for this bishop on d4, and it will be quite drawish. But a4 was a bit surprising. I mean, I actually spent all my time just trying to understand what queen takes c3. What's the problem after queen c3? I don't know. I have other moves like rook d8 when I was considering or something. But okay, then I didn't see any problem with queen c3. Queen c2.
Here, have any chance to have something? I don't know.
No, I think for a draw. I mean, I don't think you can be any better here already. But I thought maybe for a draw, yes. But somehow, even I didn't see any clear way to make a draw.
Maybe bishop f5 now?
Bishop f5?
Yes.
Well, at minimum I have a6, but actually queen e2 still.
And
I mean, seems to me it's a pawn.
Take and queen b7. I saw this.
You mean take here? Yeah, but then knight d4 is coming.
Knight d4 is coming.
Yeah. No, I mean I thought actually bishop. Here bishop g2 was a good move. That's why I also because otherwise not easy to equalize because that's what I thought. That is takes if takes here.
Yes.
And then I was calculating here some rook d1 move. No, rook c7, but it's very dangerous.
Yeah, rook c7, but how? I also saw this line.
Yeah, even check knight g5. I thought, okay, check knight g5, bishop f5, but you might easily lose here. I mean, because everything is hanging. You know, okay, it's not playing for any advantage. So bishop g2. Yeah, I was not sure. Actually, while you were thinking, I decided to play queen e7 quickly, but I don't know if I can really try. And it looks like, of course, you have two bishops, but I have two pawns. I mean, actually, I can make any move.
Yeah, of course. But I think
rook b8 maybe. But I was afraid you just want to take everything. Yes. Take on a2, f6, c6, and make a draw. Yeah, there probably it will be a draw. Unless, okay, although if I play rook b8, it's not a complete draw. Yeah, takes because then, because then at least I get my second rook somewhere.
Maybe rook c4,
takes, rook b4, rook a6. Yeah.
Rook e6 maybe.
Rook e6, rook c1, yeah. Rook b4 now.
And rook b4
rook c4, I don't know.
Takes, check, I take on e7.
Yeah, it should be a draw. So I decided queen e7 was an interesting try because I was thinking bishop c3 with the idea rook e1, but I thought I have knight e4. Okay, I was not sure you can take and rook e1 somehow. and maybe now some strange stuff. I was not sure if I can play queen g4, queen b7, queen a4, you know, in the computer's way. I'm not so sure, but because of queen f3, I don't know. I mean, queen b7, knight e5 is painful, but you can take in queen b7, and I don't know if I managed to consolidate. Maybe, yeah, h5, rook e6. I mean, if I consolidate, okay, it's really no fun, yeah. So yeah, so queen e7 you probably have to take. Okay, gf is a draw. Yeah, I take here, rook e1. Yes, and now I was not sure which move to make. I mean, basically I can make any move, yeah, but I was hesitating between h5 or g6. But actually g6, I was not sure if you take, you can play some move, but I don't also see a very useful move for you.
Maybe take.
Yeah, take. I was calculating here, I tried queen a6. That was my idea. Because in general, if I don't let you counterplay on the f7 pawn, it can be dangerous for white.
Maybe
but
king g2?
But here, king g2,
and
if
rook
I just
c7, rook e7.
no,
like
but
this.
I think the problem was rook c7 immediately.
Yeah.
This I didn't like, and I couldn't make it. I mean, there are some queen a5 tricks, but I couldn't make it work.
Knight e6?
Ah, there is knight e6, yeah. No, maybe now rook away and bishop d5 still. Some rook d7, rook somewhere. I don't know where.
There are always resources.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there are some chances here, but I thought h5, h4 looks natural. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you have to take. Maybe you can also still play some move.
Yeah, I thought I can play queen d7, but I'm
Knight e2 check, no?
knight e2 check.
No, knight e2 check. Yeah.
Ah.
No, but maybe king h1 you can still.
Rook a d8.
Yeah, rook a d8
becomes
probably
kind of
not.
dodgy. Yeah.
No, I mean, I thought rook d1 you can play, but it's a bit strange because probably you'll take anyway at the end, and I thought there are some reasonable chances here after h4. I mean, it's kind of unpleasant with too many pieces you have to take care of, but I think you played very well. I mean,
my first idea like something like rook c8, rook e8.
Yeah, but
like
it doesn't work
right?
because I just take, I think.
Yes.
I mean, that was my trap. I hope that you will try to mate it somehow, but I think there is no mate because check here, okay, check here, check here. I think it's nice, and I'm just winning. Yeah. So that was my hope. But bishop e4 check. Okay, g6, gh. Of course, this is a critical moment. Actually, I missed rook e7, not even rook 8, but rook e7. So queen a6 was my idea. Maybe this was a tricky move. I mean, in time trouble. Because now the trap was after rook c7, queen a5. That was my idea. Rook f7, king g8, and maybe it's winning here somehow.
Yeah, this probably is.
I mean, rook d1. I was not sure if rook d1 I am winning, but okay, I check here. But if you take the knight, it's still probably a draw. Yeah, I was not so sure. But in any case, after queen a6, rook e8 probably is the right move. And yes, and here I was not sure.
Queen a4, h5. Yeah.
Yes, but king h6.
Yeah, but still maybe there is counterplay. I mean, I'm not so sure because just bishop away, bishop d5 or something. I mean, you have a lot of checks now. I mean, at least you're coordinated somehow. I don't know. I mean,
king h5.
How?
King h5.
King h5.
Yes. The
I'm not going to get mated here somehow. I know rook e4. Maybe it's a bit. I'm in time trouble. I would be worried to play even king g2. So f7 is hanging. I mean. Somehow, yeah, maybe it works, but or another option was to take, immediately. But then rook c7, I didn't like, and I wanted some tricks, some checks, and to attack both rooks, but I couldn't really.
It never actually seems to work.
Yeah, strangely enough, because it looks like it's really can be an option. Yeah, but I mean, in general, I wanted, of course, my knight to f4, but I don't see how takes, and I don't see how. Maybe
if it gets there's I think no.
Yeah, no. Just my idea is to try to some kind of cheap like this, and we'll try to. But the problem is that even if you take, probably just a draw.
But I saw I can play rook e2.
Yes. But even bishop c2, rook e2 is a draw. Yeah. So I thought queen e6 was an interesting try. I mean, rook e8 is maybe only move. And now I was happy to find this queen h4, and I missed rook e7. But I don't know if here I can try. I mean, this type of game, f5, and just trying if I try to take, and if I'm in time with my king on g5.
No.
Trying. But I'm not even in time.
Here by f3.
Huh?
Here by f3.
f3. Oh, bishop g2 you can play, but okay, queen h3 check maybe. No, but f5 is too weakening. But yeah, but I saw that this
first
was
after queen h6, after queen h4, I think maybe I have something like bishop g6. I don't know. But you can play king.
You mean after which move?
Queen h4.
Queen h4, bishop g6.
Yeah.
Bishop g6.
Yeah, but you can play king take.
But even king g7, yeah. I mean,
No, king g6 works, no?
yeah,
king g6 works. Yeah.
No, but that's a problem. Yeah, rook e7 I missed because otherwise maybe it's already dangerous. Yeah, because a4 pawn is falling, but I missed this rook e7. This was a very good move, and here I couldn't. It looks like checks, a lot of things, but I don't know. I didn't see. I mean, knight c2 here.
Knight c2.
Ah, no. Here, I mean, I need to force you to take. Let's say king h6 takes here, knight c2.
And the rook e2.
Rook e2 and check. I don't know, some kind of tricks. Nothing. Yeah.
What I think most of the squares are under control. So
Yeah. That's, I don't know what can be said, but I couldn't find because it looks like if I just manage to protect, okay, it can be dangerous. But
Yeah, maybe after king g7, bishop d5, maybe.
you mean where?
Yeah. No, like our game.
I mean that's what I played.
Okay, yeah.
Check. I check and king g7.
Yes, bishop d5.
Yeah, that's what you played.
And check now or maybe.
Well, I checked on f3. I didn't see any.
Yeah, but how can you make any progress with black here?
No, here I have some chance. Let me think.
I mean some knight c2, but I don't believe.
Yeah, knight c2.
No, I mean it seems that.
I can play rook f7, rook e7, right? I can play
After knight c2, I don't think. Yeah, it looks like a forced draw. Yeah. I mean, I just thought that maybe by chance I will pick up the rook with checks, but somehow no, because I said I saw that maybe queen c4 check.
No, maybe king h6.
Huh?
King h6 now.
King h6?
Yeah.
No, but but you just play rook a7. I mean, once you connect rooks, you don't care about pawns. No, my idea was maybe check, okay, and if rook e2, first of all, maybe it's very clever queen d5 or something. I mean, but then I realized, okay, you just connect rooks. I mean, that's it. Yeah. No, it's just a draw. Yeah. So I don't know if I missed some chance or not. Hard to say. Maybe computer shows something. I don't know.
Yeah, but when
I didn't see at least.
When I play h3, I think a little bit dangerous for me because bishop e6 come back, and I think I should play knight e4. But
knight e4, yeah, knight e4 is also possible.
But I don't know about bishop e4, bishop h3.
Yeah, bishop h3. Yeah,
queen h5, i5.
Yes, that's what. But actually, I didn't like knight e2. I mean, somehow I was not sure knight e2. I don't know what's such a big deal. I mean, okay, unless you just win some exchange by force, but I don't believe. Otherwise, I can even get slightly worse. You know, here. Also, I was not sure about knight b5. Okay, that's another story. But I simply thought knight e2 might be okay. I mean,
knight d7 is the most critical, and
I don't know, queen h5 even or something. I mean, if you just protect everything, okay, you'll be slightly better soon. I mean, I don't know if slightly better, but no problems. So, I mean, bishop c4, maybe some kind of strange.
Just
trying to attack my pieces somehow. Bishop g5 you have, yeah, maybe. No, bishop e2.
Start with rook e1, maybe.
Rook e1,
rook e8.
I wanted to go bishop g5
well, at least
here.
Now bishop g5. Yeah,
bishop g5, queen a5. Yeah, we could get.
Yeah, somehow too many. I don't know. Knight f4. The other one is everything is yeah, so maybe okay, not queen h5, but I mean some queen b5. I thought actually I just stopped after queen b5. I thought okay, it's nice, but maybe you say knight e5.
Knight e5, yeah. I mean,
okay, let's say b3.
And
a6.
Yeah,
yes.
You attack me. Can I take?
Rook a7.
So
queen
c5. Yeah.
b6, queen a3. It doesn't really look very attractive.
Bishop d5. Bishop d5. Yes.
Yeah, I think it's going quite badly wrong for white.
Yeah. So knight e2, knight d7. Just somehow I couldn't
we missed
believe
knight d7 as well.
I just couldn't believe. I saw it, but I couldn't believe what knight. I mean, going back there, but maybe it's just very concrete. Yeah. I still don't believe it's so bad for white, but who knows?
But first I
so queen b5, knight e5.
Yeah, this is. Yeah, we completely missed this idea. I remember.
Well, maybe you just take on c6 after knight e5. Okay, and knight e4. It's quite solid, yeah.
But how about knight b6? Knight b6 maybe.
Ah, you mean knight b6?
Yeah.
Well, b6 to b3 should be okay because then we'll play
my queen is
g5 or
going
somewhere.
Yeah, so maybe I don't know, but here still take knight f4. Maybe I can be a bit better. I don't know.
You should go for
g8 or something. Yeah. No, of course. I mean, it's still probably close to equal.
Yeah, no, it's not.
But true, yeah, that it's yeah, maybe it has to be checked. But somehow I just thought after bishop h3 I'm very. In fact, I didn't analyze bc at all. I thought I can be slightly better. So queen c3, rook e8. I thought I have initiative here, and okay, maybe it's a draw, but you still have to make some accurate moves. So I decided just to go for it. Yeah, but maybe bishop e6 was interesting.
So after 2 knight c3, black is slightly better, is what we can conclude.
Yeah, 2 knights. Yeah, in general, I think it's white who is fighting for equality, but with knight e2, g3, bishop g2 is very solid still. I think it's still a good chance to equalize.
Are you guys happy with your start to the tournament?
Sorry?
Are you happy with your start to the tournament? 2 draws?
You know, yesterday I can't find any opening play with Vladimir, and so that's why I play this line. I know not so good, but I don't know how to play, so that's why finally draw is okay for me because finally I think I found bishop g2 this move I think very important, and it's okay for me.
No, for me, yeah, everything is going quite smooth. For the yesterday I won, today I made a draw, but I was pressing a bit, so I think I played quite okay. Just I was a little bit worried. I just played a bit too slow somehow. Maybe I should fast. I mean, the thing is that with this time control, it's a bit unusual for me. So because usually, in fact, it's 20 minutes less than usual. That's why, I mean, I have my own kind of speed of play. Somehow I play, and then I realize that I have little time left, and I just have to get used to this time control. Because if with the same time with 30 seconds increment is no problem, or if I have 20 minutes more on my clock is also no problem. But somehow I started to feel maybe I should speed up a little. Otherwise, for the moment, everything is okay.
Okay, we're in time for dinner, so thank you guys.
Thanks.
Thank you.
And I believe that's it for today. Peter, any last words, last impressions, previews for tomorrow? What do you got?
Give me the pairings and we'll speak about tomorrow for a second.
Let's do that.
I think that should be a decent way to wrap things up for today. Interesting round despite nowhere near as much bloodshed as yesterday. Plenty of interesting games, and as usual with Vladimir's games, you know, you learn a whole
lot beneath the surface.
Yeah, you get shown a lot of stuff you miss completely, even if you pay reasonably close attention when it's happening live. So what's happening
tomorrow? We do have Vladimir Kramnik against Anish Giri. That's an interesting one.
Yeah, that's always interesting, and I mean, they looked like the informed players after the blitz in the first round, but today Anish ran into a bit of a hiccup. And
yeah, it's a story of one move today for Anish. Yeah. Rook g8, rook g1 really turned the tables. It's going to be interesting. Looks like Anish has decided not to draw any of his games in this tournament. So
yeah, that could be good for the tournament if he really stuck with this policy.
Then we have MVL, the man with the momentum, against Pavel Elyanov, MVL with the white pieces.
Yeah, I will wait until tomorrow before I commit to any prognosis. But just the MVL's games in general are very, very interesting, and he will be in very high spirits after today. I think anybody would be. And white against Pavel Elyanov, who's had a bit of a slow start to the tournament. I mean, I think MVL will be highly motivated to try and put pressure on Pavel.
Yeah. Then we have the local player Magnus Carlsen playing against Nils Grandelius from Sweden. Magnus with white, he's going to be pushing.
He's definitely going to be targeting that game for sure, and yeah, we keep on saying that, and today we were proven somewhat wrong already. And I mean, Nils is no pushover, but,
no, of course not.
Every single player in this tournament will feel that, you know, this is the game where he needs to press. Lev with white against Li Chao.
Yeah, Li Chao's looked solid so far. So
Yeah,
let's see
very,
if
very
Lev
solid.
can
Yeah,
hold.
very solid, proving once again that he is a bit of an unknown quantity in the West, but he is. I mean,
You don't get 2-7, 60. If
That
you
was
can't
exactly
play.
my point. Yeah, it's he he is as good as his rating says.
Absolutely.
And for
Hare Krishna with white against Topalov. Topalov, yeah, had a rough 2 tournaments, made 2 draws here, and looks like he's stabilized a little bit.
Yeah.
Hare, yeah, also not the fastest of starts, but today, confident black draw, maybe
yeah,
that
today
gets him some.
today I think he played a good game. He played a very solid game from a position which required precision and good planning and everything. So, yeah, we'll be curious to see. I mean, Veselin keeps being very self-depreciating and deprecating and does.
Who does that?
Yeah, whoever does that, and he keeps on trying to sell this idea that he is very happy to just be making 40 moves without blunders. But we all know he is very, very ambitious, and
I'm not so sure. I'm kind of buying it. Like, of course, he wants to do his best, but he's not working on chess as much as 15 years ago. Like, he's a family man. He's enjoying his life.
That possibly is true, yeah. And but still, I mean, after having played himself into the tournament, so to speak, 2 rounds in, I think he's warmed up. He's
a defending champion. If he goes on a run, like, of course.
So lots of stuff to look forward to tomorrow, and we'll be here starting from 4 p.m. Central European, covering all this for you. As for today, thanks for watching, and
enjoy your burrito.
Yep.